Let's get it back.
It's another episode of the Mac Mizzle Show. The host with the most, don't need to brag no boast. All I do is give a toast to the real folks who done paved the way in a real way. And you know how I start my shit off. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's take a trip through the mind of a young man turning to a grown man, trying to be his own man, about to make a bold stand. So we ain't gotta hold hands, and you ain't gotta like it, but get with the program. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of guidance for all of my ghetto tyrants. I'm immune to silence and violence. All you gotta remember is that pressure makes diamonds. They give it, you apply it. Distribute to who supply it. I get it. It's too defying. Not everybody will try it. When you from where I'm from, your mind is set on surviving. I'm saying you getting clocked. If you don't know what the time is, I'm sitting back and reclining, plotting on different heights like I'm into mountain climbing, paper plane skyline, and feeling like shit. This is my island. I'm wildin', but back to the matter at hand. It's hard to execute when you don't have your plan. Do not wait for hot days to go and grab you a fan. It's always a good time to go and make that stand. I'm talking 10 toes down, planted on the concrete, step by step. Gotta grind or you will not eat. I rock beats and let my actions talk. I will not speak unless it's a real point that you gotta hear. Message from the other side, get them the fuck out of here. Flying through the stratosphere, a whole different atmosphere. And you be the pilot, so there's nothing that you have to fear. So tell her, I need my change like a cheapskate for Pete's sakes. Every single day's like a replay. Have you in the days, a lot on your mind in a deep space. A reblaze with the raw papers from the DJ. Type of shit you need, cause you ain't sleep right in 3 days. Cook food, only real sauce for a good mood. I'm talking about a 10-year-old pie and a wood spoon, real spice. There's different flavors in real life that'll make you revive beats and then kill mics. But what don't kill you only make you stronger. Plus, you ain't gonna eat if you ain't got the hunger. Are you listening? I said that you gotta be hungry. Physically, emotionally, and mentally is a must be. Sometimes my mood is off, cause I ain't get no food for thought. Blink once and you can lose it all. And that's when you reach out, seek out whatever you trying to be about. Sideline the bullshit, catch me on the rebound. If you wanted to get it, you get it. Ain't no time to relax or be timid. You say that you wanted to win, but still never try to push it to the limit. What is it?
That's the way it works. Each one bring one. Each one teach one. But when you get to your zone, now all of a sudden you feel like, man, fuck that. I don't have to give back into it. I'm here now. I can just do what I mean. That's not the way to go. That's not what this is about. That's not what we are here for. Because we are human beings and we're here for a higher calling.
Jeez. Higher calling. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better get familiar. That's what we're here for. Well, let me get into this game real quick for y'all, man. Question of the day is, what is a culture vulture? You know what I'm saying? We gotta know what type of actually let me put on some Mac music real quick. Hearing this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really get into this. This whole get down, you know what I'm talking about? People don't really know, man. It takes hard work and dedication that goes into everything that people do, you know? So you should take that and run with it. Don't be done with it, you know what I'm saying? Take it to higher heights, you know what I'm talking about? So when it comes to this rap stuff, you gotta put it in your mind, you know what I'm saying? So I was looking at this, what do you call that? Interview on the new platform, the Clubhouse platform. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what are they talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do they have any idea what type of situation that you're living in, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, yeah, we could say everything is running by white supremacy, which it is. But who is really benefiting of anything that any of us do, like the white folks, you know what I'm saying? So it's inevitable that we blame them for the demise or the way hip hop's going right now. You have to understand that hip hop is a young thing, you know? It's just starting, man. It's just taking off the last couple of years, you know? And it's the most influential genre of music on the planet. So that's how deep it gets, man, when it comes to this here game, you know? So when I look at it, I'm like, okay. That's what's up. So I seen this thing with Snoop going against Eminem. And it's ironic because isn't Benzino going against Eminem? So Snoop could go against Eminem, but Benzino can't. Because you got Royce the 5'9" jumping in the middle of the mix. Defending his homeboy, which I'm pretty sure. And then herein lies the question. When it comes to this whole Eminem situation, I want y'all to tell me what y'all feel about it. I got a little stuff from the Clubhouse thing, clip, and I'm gonna play it and then we're gonna discuss it, you know what I'm saying? But this is one clip from a clip from LA. And he actually responding to this whole Snoop on Eminem this soft. So you'll probably hear the Eminem clip this within the parameters of his video. And we're gonna talk about it. Let's listen.
This version because I am your favorite by the thing everywhere. Don't believe me? Ask that bitch thing about me. You dig? Alright. Now Snoop Dogg came out and said that Eminem his song Zeus, his little Snoop Dogg diss bar was soft as shit. Now I'm not gonna lie. That shit was funny as fuck. And that shit was hard as fuck, no homo. I think we discredit him because he's white. I thought everybody's gonna be more mad at him because Benzino reposted that old ass racist song of him disrespecting black women and black men and basically the black culture. But no, Snoop, no, that was kind of hard. You know what was soft? That gospel album was soft as fuck, and I wouldn't listen to it. I ain't gonna lie, that was soft as fuck. That shit you dropped with motherfucking Mac and Devin go to high school. That shit was weak as fuck. What else was weak as fuck? You got a lot of shit that was weak as fuck. That Jamaican album you dropped, that was weak as fuck too, cuz. So for you to say that one diss song was soft, it was kind of funny. Everybody's like, oh my god, the white boy taking shots at Snoop. Even Daz thought the shit was funny, my nigga. Okay. They mad at the white boy. Snoop. Like your street credibility is at like maybe 60% right now. Your son is a sissy. You was on CNN last night, fucking making giggles with the Baki boy. Anderson Cooper's like, let the Baki boy, let my partner just. Your son is a sissy. It's like you touching the people. You was on CNN. Ooh, have you smoked weed in the bathroom? Well, yes, I have. Have you smoked weed in the bathroom with your legs, one leg up in the air. He's like, well, yes, I smoke weed like that too. Like, come on, Snoop. It's like, there was nothing hardcore about that. We found out funny. Like, I see all the homies posting that shit like, yeah, cuz made it to CNN, got on some positive shit this time. Some positive shit, you know what I mean? So, don't call this shit soft, my nigga. He's an entertainer like you. He entertains the people. I thought this shit was kind of funny. Like, damn, the crowd taking shots at Snoop. But I found it gangster as fuck. He called you a dog and not a god because you're not a rap god. You're not even a crip god. You probably the one. You probably just
forget all that. We're gonna listen to this one because they're really breaking it down. You got Joe Budden and Nori discuss Eminem and Snoop situation January 1st, 2021. Let's listen to what they really got to say, because me at the end of the day, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of hip hop, but I ain't jocking on that Eminem love extra being up Eminem. I mean, he's wicked and all, but sometimes these Eminem stands go way too hard. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really tell him the shit he rap about. But I admit he has a wicked rhyme style and he knows how to execute. Let's go ahead and listen to this here real quick.
What's up for Daz and Nori? Because I know y'all didn't hear this last night, but style-wise, yeah, we know culturally it's bad for the culture, but just style-wise, what would y'all think of that type of battle? Would you be interested in hearing Snoop versus, like, what Snoop would say versus him?
Hell no. Me, Nori, no. Hell no, their history is too thick, man. The motherfuckers is grown men, man. We don't need no rap battle at this point. Hell no, man. Get in the fucking room and talk about it, man. And, come on, man. The fuck? We way too old for that. We way too old for that, man. Word. Come on,
I'm just talking, not culturally, but just.
You made a war report. Shut up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, bro. And you think I want to be at the war report at this point in my life? Come on, my brother. I know a nigga 30 years ago riding the train. I spoke to him the other day. Guess where he was at? Riding the train. I ain't trying to be that nigga. God bless him and his family. But hell no. We ain't supposed to be where we was 22 years ago. Hell no.
So what's the age limit on rap diss tracks? What's the age limit?
Yo, listen, man. Listen, I don't even know, man. I don't know. What you said? Say the question again, Joe.
What's the age limit on when you can make a diss track as a rapper then?
I'm not sure, because LL look like he's really gonna go at Freddie Gibbs, all right? Like, I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. Like that, because like I'm looking at Al, I'm like, don't do it, Al. Like, don't do it. And Freddie Gibbs looked like he wanted to do it. Like, this is crazy. So in that situation, that's a little different. But I don't know. I just don't want to see Eminem and fucking Snoop Dogg on that. I don't want to see that, bro, because of their relationship. And they both from, that's like stepchildren fighting and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're both from the same lineage. You know what I mean? They come from the same fucking person that made Eminem great as the same person that made Snoop great.
Yeah, from the NWA family.
Freddie was patiently too for LL too.
Like, yo, I swear to God, this is the funniest shit. This is the funniest shit because L kind of won it too. This is what's funny about it. Oh no, I live on the beach, my brother. I'm sorry, man. If you that's waves and shit you hearing in the background. I'm sorry, man. I can't even make that as I'm talking. But when I'm not talking, I'm gonna mute me. I'm sorry, bro. But you know that's what y'all hearing, man. You know when Clubhouse go video, you can see I'm on the beach, man. This is where I think at, you know, by myself. I'm sorry, my toes is out. Like,
you can't know it, man. Yo, hip hop is beautiful, man.
Nigga said my toes is out.
It's a fact.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's definitely styles make fights. That ain't the one, bro. No upside to that. Just the kind of contributors that they both are. I don't think that's a good idea on no level.
I mean, it's two different styles.
DA, why you done talking him out of it, bro?
I mean, you know, he's his own man, you know what I'm saying?
How do Dre feel about that kind of shit? You know what I mean? Like,
They don't like he probably in there in the middle of it, like da. You know what I'm saying? They probably what you probably even realize they probably did talk. How do we know?
I'll tell you this. I was listening to Doggy Diamonds the other day, and Doggy Diamonds was describing something that Joe. He said Joe had an opinion on something, and Jay Prince's younger son just got mad at him, and he said, "Yo, are we really not allowed to have opinions in hip hop?" And I feel like that's where we lean towards right now. Like if Royce is my man or Joe is my man, and I don't like or Daz drop something that I don't like, and I say, yeah, I don't like that. That's not my favorite Daz thing. Then Daz gonna have beef with me because of that? Like, this is crazy. Like, it's like just because we're famous, we can't have an opinion back.
Just the kind of contributors that they both are. I don't think that's a good idea on no level.
I mean, it's two different styles.
DA, why you done talking about of it, bro?
I mean, he's his own man, you know what I'm saying?
How do Dre feel about that kind of shit? You know what I mean? Like,
Dre don't like he probably in there in the middle of it, like da. You know what I'm saying? They probably what you probably even realize they probably did talk. How do we know?
I'll tell you this. I was listening to Doggy Diamonds the other day, and Doggy Diamonds was describing something that Joe. He said Joe had an opinion on something, and Jay Prince's younger son just got mad at him, and he said, "Yo, are we really not allowed to have opinions in hip hop?" And I feel like that's where we lean towards right now. Like if Royce is my man or Joe is my man, and I don't like or Daz drop something that I don't like, and I say, yeah, I don't like that. That's not my favorite Daz thing. Then Daz gonna have beef with me because of that? Like, this is crazy. Like, it's like just because we're famous, we can't have an opinion. I can't say I don't like, and that's what that this whole little Eminem Snoop shit derived from is just Snoop saying, nah, M is a dope lyricist. He's just not a.
If Nori get a bag from somebody, you ain't gonna be like, I don't like that, though, like that. You're a media person down there, so you know. He's smart. Nori, one thing about Nori, he's smart, man. He know how to play the game, but you know what I'm talking about.
It's like we can't even have opinions no more. That shit leads to World War I. Just having an opinion. What y'all think?
But Nori, you know what though? He added though.
I'm making this quick video because it has been 1 month since joining the Cashflow 101 system, and so what I wanted to.
And I could probably live without any Eminem album.
Even that. I mean, I know what that means. I know what that means to an actual person, but it's really not that harsh if that's not your cup of tea. Listen, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, there's people who drink coffee every fucking day, right? There's people who wake up and drink coffee. I never really drank coffee. So if I say I can live without coffee now, the coffee people gonna hate me for that?
Shall I continue? That nigga Snoop was like, shall I continue?
I mean, okay,
shall I continue?
It still didn't warrant M to do a diss track. M should have responded in the interview. You know what I'm saying? Because when
I think he should have responded in the interview.
In the interview, because once you go to the diss track, it's almost like a diss track. That's permanent, exactly. And it's like
it ain't going nowhere. It's in the history.
Yeah, I feel like niggas should have went to the phones.
Yeah, I feel that too. But if you was going to respond, I feel like it should have been. That's like me smacking you and you stabbing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Damn, or me stepping on your toe and then you punching me in my stomach. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, my dude. You know what I mean? So I feel like.
Hey, Roy, how is Snoop and Eminem's relationship?
Hold on, one more time, OG. Mute your mic, Nord.
Yep.
I said, how is Snoop and Eminem's relationship? Have you seen them quarantine? I mean, like hang out. What's the vibe you see when they hang out together?
Anytime I ever seen them together, they look like they was the best, cool as fuck, cracking jokes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what Marshall's thing was. It was just like, damn, what he thought their relationship was, and the energy that was coming off of Snoop in that interview, whether he meant no harm or not, I think he just looked at it like it's a more respectful, brotherly way to say what you said. But I agree though, it ain't have to be a diss and a song behind that. but I do understand it.
I'm gonna let you know some history that I know about situations. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Back in the days, you know, they did that "Hey Oh Hey Oh" song, right? On Snoop's first album, what was that? With Nate Dogg, "You Don't Wanna Fuck With Me." That song. And then Eminem did it on his album, right?
Yeah.
He redid
Please.
Yeah. So when I was talking to Snoop one time, he said that he asked Eminem and them to get on his song, you know, like to get on his album, and they told him no. And Snoop felt some type of way, like, I did all this and all that, and they tell me no. And you know, Snoop like, no, nobody tell me no.
Yeah, and it was an interview that surfaced recently from back then, where somebody was asking him, the interviewer was asking him about his contribution to that song, and he was just like, "Well, I was coming from more of a street level, yeah, because he was like, because I'm a gangster, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't on all that shit Eminem was on, all that."
But then I was talking to Salam, right? And then Salam said, sometimes when you ask, like he asked Eminem to do a song, but Eminem probably didn't even know that Snoop asked to do a song. That probably was Peter Rosenberg. Somebody just said no. I mean, you know, Paul Rosenberg was saying no, and then and that's what Salam said. He said he probably didn't even get the Eminem that Snoop wanted him to do a song with.
So he took it first.
See, my thing is Eminem should already extend the olive branch. You know what I'm saying? Because these niggas invited him in. You got with Dre. He knew it was gonna blow up and all that, but you gotta pay respect to the homage to the OGs, man. You know what I'm saying? What did Pac do when he got out? Got on the track with Snoop. You know, what did 50 do when he got big? Got on the track with Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Niggas pay homage to the real G's, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all out here bullshit. Anyway, let's continue.
They took it personal. And then from then on, that's why you never heard a song from Snoop and M since then.
I wonder how 50 feels about this.
Yeah.
50 could probably squash it, 50 or Dre. You know what I'm saying? Like they two
Right, definitely.
I can definitely squash that shit because you know everybody still be in the same studio at Record One.
If you ever wanted to know what $21,000 looks like in a single month, this is what it looks like.
Just got knocked at the door and got a package in the mail.
Anna and I just got this package. That's my name, Matthew Stillman.
And then you know, I just seen Fred Wreck on TV with Snoop the other day, and that's Eminem good friend Fred Wreck. So it must not be nothing.
Right.
Because Fred Wreck over there, he cool with Eminem, and, you know what I mean? Dr. Dre, you know, all that type of shit. So it probably ain't really nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just, hey, they probably already didn't talk.
I heard that same story you heard, Daz. I just wasn't going to say it. But I definitely heard that, though.
Yeah, so, you know, people get in their feelings.
Man, feelings for sure.
And that's what fucked up the whole rap game's feelings.
Hey, matter of fact, hey, DA, I got to call you tomorrow.
Now let's look at this one. 5'9" lashes on Dave Nice.
I got a correlation with all of this, with all these accolades he gets from the black community, all this upper echelon shit he do in that black space. What has Eminem done except release that Black Lives Matter bullshit ass album, Rivals? What else? What has he done to benefit the same black culture that he benefits from?
He gave you 50 Cent.
I didn't think so. So like I said, I didn't think so. He didn't do nothing. Thanks.
What you mean? What do you mean he didn't do nothing?
He didn't do anything. What did he do?
Well,
what
nigga, I just told you. What do you mean? What? So what I just said don't hold no merit. 50 Cent G Unit. That's not good.
No, that's not.
So you saying you don't like their music, or what are you saying?
What did you do to benefit the black culture that you eat from? Did you give back? Are the kids in Detroit where you live? Are the black kids in Detroit where you live? Are they better off because of anything you did?
Hey, no. Are you saying do he give to charities? Is that what you're asking?
That's what I'm saying.
He give to charities every single year, for sure. I know that person.
I don't see it. Where's
Why
the-
you don't have to see it? Yeah, what you ain't from Detroit? What you gotta see it for?
That don't mean
There's many black people from Detroit.
Just like Dave Mays and them, just like Dave Mays and them be talking about he ain't from Detroit. He's very much from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all paint anecdotal pictures about somebody that y'all don't even know.
Why are we talking about anybody else other than
when did you first
we
meet him? When did you first meet him? Because he's from Missouri and he didn't live.
Yeah, he was born. I don't need you to tell me that, bro. Yeah, he was born in Missouri and then he moved here. You know what I'm saying? But he grew up on the east side. You know what I'm saying? Like he's from Detroit. People saying he come from a trailer park. He don't come from a trailer park. He's from Detroit. He lived in a trailer park, but he's from Detroit. But he's from Detroit.
What's up with Basement Productions and his group with the 4 white boys? You know about that?
I ain't never met them dudes, but Basement Productions, that's a production company. That's a production company he was signed to. Yeah, I never met those white dudes that he was in the group.
Him and 3 other white boys that had a group called Basement Productions before he started fucking with black people.
No, Basement Productions is the same production company that he was signed to when he signed with Dre. Same production company.
That was the 2 brothers.
Yeah, Marky and Jeff. And Jeff. The Bass Brothers. That's who that is.
I don't know.
I do know. What do you mean you don't know? I'm telling you. You saying you don't know, but I'm telling you. So no, you don't have all the facts. If you think what I'm telling you is false, why would I lie to you, brother? I don't have no reason to lie.
What did you say that I said was false?
Oh, I thought I heard you say that you got the facts. Like something I'm saying is false.
No, I didn't say nothing. I don't know what you said it was false, but I do have a lot of facts because I did my research and I know a lot of shit about what.
But one thing you just put as a fact was very wrong.
What?
In regards to the Bass Brothers and Basement Productions.
What? No, Basement Productions was four white boys that made rap tapes together. Okay, when Eminem was like whatever, about 18 years old, 19
16,
years old.
dog, 16.
He wasn't
16. Don't twist it.
You know the black girlfriend. There was no black girlfriend. That was a lie that was made up to make it seem to justify that song where he called black women bitches. There was no black girlfriend. You're gonna sit here and tell me there was a black girlfriend?
How do you know that to be true?
How do you know it?
You saying am I gonna sit here and tell you something? You talking to somebody that's friends with him. You don't know him.
Do you know that to be true? I'm asking you.
I don't know nothing about way back then. I know I've been on tour with him. I know I've been on tour with him. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, so are you asking me if he's fucked?
No, I'm asking you. Is that what you asking me? Girlfriend when he was 16 that broke up with him, and that's why
I didn't know him when he was 16, brother. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
That was the reason that was given in the prepared statement that was put out.
Who cares? Who cares? Why do you care about
it? Everybody cares because
what kind of girlfriend did Post Malone have when he was 16? Why you don't care about that?
Post Malone. I don't give a fuck about Post Malone. What that got to do with Post Malone is what I'm talking about. The reason Post Malone exists and it has the level of success that he has is because not just of Eminem, but the impact of Eminem. How Eminem was used by the machine and these companies, these corporations to change the market of hip hop and allow them to control.
So you think Post Malone's presence in the culture is a bad thing? You think that's a bad thing for the culture?
I do. I really hold on.
No, one mic, guys. One mic.
Rock type of dude to me.
No, he's not a Kid Rock type of dude, bro. He's not.
They did it with the Beastie Boys way before that.
Wait, what?
And the Beastie Boys was a little.
What you mean they didn't work? They did what with the Beastie Boys? They did what with the Beastie Boys?
I'm saying that if you're talking about white people rapping in hip hop, that was already successful. So it's not Eminem is not the precursor to the Beastie Boys to 14 years later with Eminem. There was nothing. You had Third.
You have Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. What happened?
What else? Every white boy.
Eminem is when all the white rappers.
Listen. Every white boy
now have come into the business.
Every white boy came into here. Dragged their nuts through the culture and kept it moving to rock, except Marshall. He's the only one. Everybody else, including Rick Rubin.
Well, he could have went. He could have went and did the rock. Let him go.
Yeah, but he didn't because he's hip hop.
He shouldn't.
He was raised by hip hop, but that's your opinion. But I'm just telling you that's something to look at. Like what Dave Mays is talking about. I think the countercultural kind of like thing that Dave Mays is talking about. Y'all are throwing him in that category just because he's white, and you're doing it not knowing who you're talking about. You just assuming.
I'm doing it.
You comparing them to Kid Rock. That's crazy.
For it all. He was the catalyst. Whether it was intentional by his part or not, that's how he was used.
So the Beastie Boys weren't the catalyst?
No.
What about how would you qualify them as not being a catalyst?
I mean, acting like Beastie Boys because the Beastie Boys didn't. The Beastie Boys wasn't even rappers. Them niggas was doing all that bullshit music and came in doing rap albums. Like you will not, and you won't say ways that that shit was. They were doing.
Wait, so the Beastie Boys were not. Wow.
They wasn't even rappers at first. They actually came to became rappers.
Are you familiar with what was happening in downtown Manhattan, like 82, 83, when the scenes were colliding? So you're bringing up the fact that they weren't originally rappers. Yes, they had a group called, was it Cookie Puss, or was it the Cookie Puss era?
That's not what I'm saying. But
do you know the era that you're speaking on?
No, but just
then you might not want to speak on it because right now you're in territory that you're clearly not clear on. You are clearly not clear on this era. You are clearly not clear on this era, bro.
Just listen. The same thing they talking about with him, it's enough people that you could convict for that. Not the one motherfucker that's the rapper. Not the one motherfucker that stayed in hip-hop. It's a lot of motherfuckers that came from other genres, that came into hip-hop. There's other motherfuckers who was hip-hop that went into other genres. Agree. The one white boy that's been this shit the whole time, to me, like, that's crazy. And no, it's not his fault that the white boy influx happened. It's not his fault. It was white boys in between and white boys after. There's still not one as successful as that one.
That nigga was side by side. He was side by side with us at the open mics, at all the battles. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way we came up, he came up. The only difference is he's just a white boy. That's the difference. I don't think all of us put him up to on some high platform like the greatest. Like me personally, that's Hov for me. Hov is at the top of lyricism.
What about the song where he used the N-word with the ER in it? What about that one? Did you listen to that one? And what was your thought about that?
Who was that asking me that question?
Dave.
What song are you talking about, Dave?
One of those songs from that tape where he said, "I don't like the chicks with the big."
Dave, let me tell you something, Dave. Back then, when y'all was doing that shit, when y'all had that little baby, listen. When y'all was doing, listen, let me talk, man. Like when y'all had y'all little baby beef going on. I was in Detroit. Me and M wasn't speaking to each other. We wasn't around each other. I don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he.
Baby beef and none of that. I don't know what you're talking
No, nigga, that's what y'all were engaged in.
In the culture, side by side, this, that, and the other, and he's just like all of us. I'm saying, but not do all of us have a song where we use the N-I-G-G-E-R word derogatively towards black people, where we have another song where we call black people porch monkeys?
Man, Dave, you gonna have to. You know what? The same thing that Mouse is talking about with him. I'm gonna have to see that with you. I'm gonna have to see some receipts with you to see what you really doing for the fucking community.
You see, you can't really correlate the two. If he said the N-I-G-G-E-R, then that's fucked up. Because you never caught Dave Mays saying nothing like that. So that goes to show you right there. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show you right there some sucker shit. And real dudes ain't gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of days a lot of times we look at things from a too literal perspective and not a holistic perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Eminem might not be racist now, but he fucked up at one point, and his rhyme style didn't really change, you know? And then he went after white America. I could be one of your kids. So he's basically saying that his lyrics are so cool that he can say whatever the fuck he wants, and no one could chastise him. That's why Snoop was like, nah, I ain't going for the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Eminem, you ain't no G or nothing like that. You from motherfucking Missouri. You probably grew up in the battle scene and all that, but yo, you don't know where Eminem really came from. You don't know his, you know what I'm saying? These guys, I mean, it ain't his fault, no, nothing like that, but was very funny to me, man. As soon as Eminem came out, the rap game started going. But I guess y'all like this type of music that's going on here, you know? And then talk about people are mumble rappers and all that, but MGK really did handle him well, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you got these fake ass politicians that just want to see us fail, you know what I'm saying? So, most of the white folks in the world that fuck with Eminem, they're racist. There's a lot of us that like Eminem for his lyrical ability, you know what I'm saying? The way he kicks it. Hey man, after I heard that MGK diss, man, I understand where a lot of people are coming from, man. He's a bit too sour and a bit too white boyish for us, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a good rapper and all, but don't throw on a cake just to save his ass if he ain't really, you know, representing and speaking up for his damn self, you know what I'm talking about?
First of all, we can talk about me all day, but why?
No. We're not gonna talk about you all day. We're not gonna talk about you all day. I'm saying you don't get to be a gatekeeper. Who the fuck are you? Like, what have you done?
Who the fuck am I? I'm the man who created the source, and the source.
And you partnered up with the man that ruined it. You partnered up with the man that ruined it. So we on to the next topic. That's it. You ain't nobody like that.
So I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I agree.
Okay. I know it's okay.
Look, I agree with you, Royce. I agree with you. Right? We can't have two white people compete because then it starts looking like a savior complex battle. Now I'm asking you as a black motherfucker in the culture. I'm asking you. I'm not gay, so you that same thing don't work with me. So I'm asking you. You okay with that nigga? You okay with that white man doing that and then smiling in your face?
I'm not. I don't look at it like that. I'm not okay. I'm not okay with what was said on the tape. But I'm also taking in consideration that he was a youngin. He was a youngin, and I don't think there's a white person who exists that didn't use that word at some point. Like I just look at it like that, and then I weigh that against the good qualities that's in him that I noticed, and the shit that he did for me coming up that he didn't need to do. And the time we spent with each other, I came to the conclusion that I don't feel he a racist, and I kept it moving. You know what I mean? That's really it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't understand what Dave and Benzino want the culture to do. What do y'all want us to do? Like y'all want us to throw him in the fire, throw him away? Like the dude he's a major contributor.
Benzino, that's what I want. I want y'all to do that.
All right, cool.
This nigga.
Nah, that ain't happening. That ain't
happening. Because with him, I think what happens on a larger scale, on a more grandiose scale in black culture, he's holding up a space. He's taking up space. That and like I said, I'm not just saying this because you're here. I said this shit yesterday. I've said this shit on many a podcast. If this nigga not here taking up space, I think you get that credit.
I disagree, my brother.
What space is he really taking? He puts out one album a year and disappears.
Now, we talk about
what space is he taking?
Don't do that. Just don't do that. We're talking about his career as a whole. We're not talking about 2021. His career as a whole.
We're talking about you would like people to throw him away now, and I'm saying
I want us to throw him out. From day one, we should have threw him out.
You specifically said he's taking up space. My question is, what space?
He takes up space, his existence within the hip hop culture from the day he dropped and got all that.
I'm talking about right now, at the pace he's at right now. He puts out an album a year and disappears into his back cave, comes back like clockwork. Next year, drops another album, doesn't tour, doesn't do a lot of press, ain't on TV every 2 minutes. What space is he physically occupying?
Because the space that hip hop is going to look and everybody's going to freeze.
What space is he occupying in most people's
You're asking me a question. I'm answering it. So now when he dropped
there's limited amount of space.
When he dropped
there's no limited amount of space.
When he dropped the project, when he dropped the project, hip hop media takes a moment and pays attention to it. And no matter how long, they pay attention to it. That could go to a young black artist
But he's Eminem, though, bro.
Understand something, Miles. Eminem is a white.
The idea that
You can't even answer. You can't even actually accurately answer the question, bro. And I'm not saying that respect.
Mouse, it's opinion. What you saying is just your opinion, brother. Like that's the reason why. It's like it's hard for us to come to a general consensus on that because that's just how you feel. That's your opinion. You know what I mean? Like you may look at his involvement with G Unit, like you got to remember, bro. All of the labels were scared to get in bed with 50 from a business perspective. Like Dre and M decided, man, fuck what everybody's talking about. I know this nigga got beef, but we're about to sign him because we think that he'll be great for the culture. He'll be big. You know what I'm saying? And that nigga went up, and 50 went on to create other millionaires and create other spaces. You know what I'm saying? And then like he signed Slaughterhouse, he signed Griselda. All of these things are just, to me, their contributions, whether they hit on a certain level or not. These are attempts for culture at culture. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm talking about. I don't understand. If you take that away, then you're taking away pieces of the history of culture.
Oh, hey, we all shop online, right? And when we do, we always see that little.
I think we'd still be all right. I don't think this white man is.
We wouldn't be all right. Be way better off.
Hey, Mouse, though, listen to this. You got to have logical consistency when you make certain arguments. So I feel where you're coming from, right? I get you. But it's not logically consistent if you say if you move M or you race M, then Royce gets that accolade when Eminem was part of the promotion of Royce the 5 name, you know, because he held him and Eminem looked at Royce and revered him as in a certain way. Because I told Royce early on when we first became friends, like, yo, in my opinion, I always thought you smoked M on shit. But then Royce was explaining to me too, but like you had to be there to see the type of in the ways that M would calculate and his genius. They got to see it firsthand. And that's always different too. It's always different when you was on the team with Michael Jordan, aside from being in the stands. Because there's some niggas that don't think Mike is whatever, but the niggas who play with him is like, yo, you have no idea. This is completely different.
The nigga you talking to, Royce, is right here because of Curve, right? Like,
so that's what I just said about
that's like saying,
consistency.
That's like saying, fuck my mama, nigga, and then I'm here.
Right.
I'm here, nigga. Like, this nigga helped that nigga. This nigga helped the New York niggas. He helped the Detroit niggas. He helped a lot of niggas eat. You talking about him like he ain't helping me.
But look, but notice this though. But
it's bigger than that, though. It's bigger than that.
But listen, hold on. Listen. Everywhere we go in the world.
Hold up. Hey, you can't tell us what's bigger than that. We telling you what's bigger than that. We telling you.
I can say what I want to say. Okay.
No, you can say what you want to say, but it don't mean it's gonna hold no merit. Okay. It don't mean you dictate. It don't mean you dictate nothing.
I'm not dictating nothing. I'm gonna say my piece.
So what you talking about?
They can either fuck with me or they won't. But motherfuckers been fucking with me for 30, 40 years because of the shit that I've done and said and how I am.
Now,
and that's how
we fuck with them the same way, Dave.
What I'm saying
we fuck with, just like we fuck with you, Dave, we fuck with them the same way. Y'all the same motherfucker.
We're not the same.
You got that right, bro. Okay. You got that right. You got that right.
We're definitely not the same.
You got that right. Y'all ain't the same.
I don't have none of that in my history. And what I've done as far as fucking the streets and as far as fucking with authenticity and hip hop is documented. Okay,
you fuck with Benzino. You don't fuck with no authenticity. I'm gonna kick your ass to the crowd. Get the fuck.
I haven't fucked with Benzino for 5 years.
You fuck with cornballs.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I know it's okay.
Okay. You sound like a cornball.
Is there? All right, enough of Dave Mays. He can go back to the audience. Go ahead. Who else want to talk now? Where's the fuck out of here, motherfucker? Fuck you talking to, nigga? I'll put death on your doorstep, nigga. Fuck you talking to. Whoa, yeah. Ain't no divisiveness. I ain't divisive. I'm not one with Dave Mays, nigga.
And then he started getting all mad like a little business. You know what I'm saying? Real recognizable. Yeah. Oh, you like it now, right? Wait. Taste. Okay, so go sleep. No, I'm not gonna hold it for you so you can eat it. Yeah, here my daughter wants me to hold a wing for her so she can eat it. It'll smell better in there. It'll smell better, baby. So let's go ahead and listen to the shout out to the Lionel B show because he's talking about.
I'm not holding this. It's not.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna do right now.
Now, y'all, it looks like the beef is definitely escalating between Snoop Dogg and Eminem, and I got the exclusive information for y'all, so make sure y'all keep it locked.
Exclusive. Not elusive, but exclusive. We won't really break this shit down, you know what I'm saying?
What's up, peeps, and welcome back to the Lionel B Show. It's your first time tuning into the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos, man. Also, make sure y'all click that notification bell button so anytime
I just want to get into the
love y'all was part of the promotion of.
Y'all need to stop this shit. But just to let y'all know, man, like, yo, it's real in the field, man. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, okay, Eminem's a good rapper and all, but what does he do for the culture? Like, you know what I mean? Like, as a white boy, you're supposed to have a little bit more merit. Like, I know these dudes in Detroit, they worship you, you know, but the rest of the country, they ain't trying to hear all that, man. They want you to come to the trenches and really show that you a rapper of the people. I know DMX be going in the trenches and doing what he gotta do and keeping it real in the field. Some rappers don't, you know, but you as a white boy, you should be doing a lot more for the hip hop community than just sitting on the throne and talking about your Zeus. Zeus was a Greek god deity. That was fictional, you know what I'm saying? So don't bring that Zeus shit to the real niggas, you know what I'm saying? Real G's, you know what I'm saying? So that's some separate shit to me.
Authenticity in hip hop is documented. Okay, there's
you fuck Benzino. You don't know authenticity. I'm gonna kick your ass to the crowd. Get the fuck out.
I haven't fucked with Benzino for 5 years.
In other words, you fuck cornballs.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I know it's okay.
Okay, you sound like a cornball.
Is there? All right, enough of Dave Mays. He can go back to the audience. Go ahead. Who else want to talk, man? Where's the fuck out of here, motherfucker? For this.
Hey, yo, Roy.
Fuck you talking to, nigga? I'll put death on your doorstep, nigga. Fuck you talking to.
Whoa, yeah. This divisiveness.
Ain't no divisiveness. I ain't divisive. I'm not one with Dave Mays, nigga. Let's get this shit straight, man. Y'all niggas in here acting like this motherfucker at the cookout or something. Get the fuck out of here, man.
He keeps talking about that
But
cake, man. Let the cake go, nigga.
Anyway, what I said when I say it's bigger is that hip hop is a multi-billion-dollar industry and culture, but these hoods in America are as up or worse than they've ever been. Okay, and if the course of hip hop hadn't been changed in that mid-90s after Pac was killed, okay, things could be a lot different, and they still can be.
Yo, hey, bro, I think Dave, all due respect. Don't tell me about my fucking neighborhood wine.
That's what I'm telling you.
What am I not telling you nothing about the fact. You don't think the hood is a fucked up?
No, I gotta make this point. I gotta make this point. I'm from South Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You don't know what my people down there need.
You don't know what they have.
How do you know what I know? What I know? You don't even know me. You don't even know me or nothing about me.
But I can tell you. No. I can tell you that. Fuck Eminem. I can tell you, you're a white man. You're not gonna tell me what could fix the black community. You don't.
I'm telling you, I don't have to tell you. I'm making a point about hip hop as a multi-billion-dollar culture and how that culture hasn't given back to the communities.
And I'm telling you that the people that the work that I do, people don't need hip hop. They need schools. They need books.
They need money. They need money. They need billions of dollars that ain't going to the good. Billions of dollars that's going to these 3 major international corporations that's taking the majority, the lion's share of the money. Okay? That's what they need. They need billions of dollars, but it ain't going to them. It's going to a select handful of motherfuckers who are in the system.
And that is true. That is true. That is true. Let me rewind it and make it out really listen to what Dave Mays is saying. Because Dave Mays came up in the 90s, right? Now, I don't think they would let any white boy in culture like that if it wasn't for his financial situation and his connections. So the reason why he got with Benzino was because Benzino had some clout in the streets and he was really about that life, and he had connections around the industry and he was really doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Can't take that away from the main man. So what he did was he partnered up and they made one of the most successful magazines in modern history, which is the Source magazine, covering all aspects of hip hop. You know what I'm talking about? So what he's saying is absolutely correct, man. You can't take that away from him. But Eminem did come in the game and shake it up a bit with his little the Eminem show. You know what I'm saying? The show must go on, I guess. But if you really woke, man, you gotta understand, man. Eminem, did he contribute as much as Dave Mays? I mean, lyrically wise, yeah, but behind the scenes, promoting the artists, really getting the things out there, I don't know, man. One could dispute the latter. Dave Mays didn't do a lot, you know? So let's see what we got here. Continue with this here thing right quick.
I gotta make this point. I'm from South Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You don't know what my people down there need. You don't know what they have. How do you know what I know? What I know? You don't even know me.
You don't even know me or nothing about me.
But I can tell you. I can tell you that. Fuck Eminem. I can tell you, you're a white man. You're not gonna tell me what could fix the black community.
I'm telling you, I don't have to tell you. I'm making a point about hip hop as a multi-billion-dollar culture and how that culture hasn't given back to the communities.
And I'm telling you that the people that the work that I do, people don't need hip hop. They need schools. They need books.
They need money. They need money. Billions of dollars that ain't going to the good. Billions of dollars that's going to these 3 major international corporations that's taking the majority, the lion's share of the money. Okay? That's what they need. They need billions of dollars, but it ain't going to them. It's going to a select handful of motherfuckers who are in the system. That's where it's going.
And that's Eminem's fault. That's Eminem's fault.
He's a part of it. It's not his fault.
I'm telling you, you're part of it. Like if he a part of it,
then you got to be a part of it. Jimmy got to be a part of it.
Everybody's a part of it. Then.
We're 2 different people in 2 different situations. What I did is documented, and what he did, it was documented. It's 2 different things.
Wait, so Dave, are you saying that there was at some point a grand conspiracy amongst the labels to position Eminem
as a pawn to remove the attention from black people when it came to hip hop, so that everybody would follow him. Is that what you're saying?
Not him,
because you pretty much said that earlier. That's what I
said was there was a conspiracy by the record industry and other entities to change the course of hip hop so that hip hop wouldn't be dominated and controlled by black people from the inner cities, from the streets, who were systematically removed by the FBI and COINTELPRO that went on in the industry. I want to hear this shit is real talk for motherfuckers that's been through it and know what the fuck happened. Okay.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
Let me ask Dave a question. Let me ask Dave a question. Yo, one mic. Let me ask Dave a question. Dave.
Yes.
Were you around when Benzino gave himself 4.5 mics?
Jesus Christ.
Were you around? And did you think he deserved 4.5 mics?
Wow.
This is
so there's that.
So why you let him do that? Because that was like the demise.
Spotify just did a massive purge, deleting over 750,000 songs, and you may have been one of the victims. The worst part is, this is only going to get worse. Because what if I told you the vast majority of attractive playlists that accept song submissions are pushing fake
eyes of the integrity of the Source magazine?
Nah, that wasn't.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. How can you get mics and then turn around and
as a subscriber, it pretty much was.
You probably wasn't even around when I started the Source.
Well, you see, that's a deflection. You talk about why he let Benzino give himself 4.5 mics in the Source. Nigga, there's a lot of shit in the Source that didn't deserve 4.5 mics, and a lot of shit that did. So, you as the owner of the Source and your partner's there, you think he's gonna actually sell himself short and say, "Oh, I'm a shitty rapper," or is he trying to sell records? If you make your partner happy, you're gonna be happy. So y'all gonna make more moves together. So at the end of the day, it's a bad faith argument. He's just talking out of his ass because he's trying to deflect to the fact that he's really sticking up for little homie. I mean, Eminem is kind of like, he should have more to say in regards to what's going on in the world concerning the plight of the black community. He should have went and got money, got money together to help the Detroit people, the people of the Detroit when it comes to water, when it comes to maybe he's doing it, I don't know, but it should be more in the public eye, man. I should be seeing a lot more from this cat, man. Everything that the rap game has given to him, and it's not all black folks that's by his records, mind you, but black folks really blew up the gangster niggas, you know what I'm saying? Rap was going down a gangster lifestyle, and we were becoming more I should say militant when it comes to this whole revolution, And when Eminem came in, it really stopped the militancy and it turned into like goofiness, and clowning the mainstream, which is really what we've been doing, but Eminem was doing it on level where it's like he was just trying to fit in with hip hop, but simultaneously dissing his own people, which is cool and all, but you don't get gangster points like going after fucking NSYNC and all that. But I guess he came out, he did what he had to do. It made headlines. It was cute for a moment, but you got to get back to this true essence of what hip hop is revolutionary music. That's why Tupac was so influential. That's why what Dave Mays is about to say right now makes so much sense. Let's listen.
Source, you're kind of younger than me. So
who was it? I still have the very first issue sitting in my house, like the newsletter.
Who's that? Just okay. Just I ain't fucking with you. That's love, and that's
no. But what I'm saying, but I'm agreeing with the point that when that happened, that was kind of pretty much.
Yeah, that was like the demise of the integrity of the Source magazine.
I don't agree with
You
that.
got to take
Demise, I don't agree. The demise of the Source magazine is much more complicated.
But no, I'm talking. No, Dave. I said the demise of the integrity.
I agree with that review. I just told you I don't think it deserved it. But that was my man, and I went along with it at the time.
Oh, that's
yeah. So y'all could do.
But I'm trying to.
Y'all could do little shit like that. Y'all could do little shit like that, and then turn around and be the culture police. I don't think that's right. That ain't right. Y'all ain't being held accountable for y'all shit that y'all do.
Why was the Source?
See what I'm talking about? Talk about the forming these little itty bitty 4.5 mic. That was a Source, man. If you run a motherfucking magazine, you're gonna rank yourself high when it comes to grading your lyrics too, man. Let's not be dumb. Told y'all. Royce is on some bullshit.
What's the hip hop Bible? Why was the microphones ratings so important? Okay.
Because of the integrity was there.
That integrity, me.
Okay.
I did not.
And the writers that wrote for it. The writers that wrote for it.
Yeah.
Dave, I give you, my brother. I give you nothing. Listen. I give you nothing but respect.
Do all that shit for the magazine, for my brand. Yes.
I give you nothing but respect for that, bro. For the integrity that y'all presented with the Source magazine. I'm saying when Benzino gave himself 4.5 mics, the integrity started going downhill. I ain't even trying to be funny. It's the truth.
That's a fact. Probably right. That's probably right. But
that's a fact.
But that could have been fixed. There was other problems that
caused. I'm still trying to understand, Dave. I'm still trying to understand. You said that they were trying to systematically remove black people from controlling hip hop in the streets, from controlling hip hop. When do you in your timeline think that actually happened?
It started when they killed Tupac. When they assassinated Tupac, that was the beginning of the end for the streets in hip hop, because Tupac was the last person in death row that really had power and was able to stand up to the major labels and dictate shit and be in control of shit. After that, there was a vacuum.
So previous to that, you feel that I'm not. This is not me being funny. I'm asking a real question. You feel that previous to that, the streets and the black people were running what was happening in the hip hop industry?
Y'all see what I'm talking about? Y'all see where I'm getting at? All right.
They weren't running it entirely, but they had way more say and sway. Like I said before, a record had to be stamped in the streets before it could get to any type of mainstream success. You can't deny that. That's just facts.
Do you think
stamped by the streets that had any sustained success in hip hop?
Do you think that Do you think that the Source Awards exacerbated that Tupac and Biggie beef?
The Source Awards, no.
You don't think the Source Awards ceremony?
No, the Source Awards brought everybody together in one place. The only time it ever happened. Brought everybody, because I was the one that could bring everybody from every camp together into one room.
So you mean to tell me niggas wasn't walking around in the Source Awards 30 deep with guns on them, and the energy in the air wasn't electric, and niggas didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen next? I mean, all I could base it off is documentaries that I watch. Am I off with that?
Great, but I was there, so you know what I mean. Like, it's a little different. But are you talking about the 95 Source Awards? You talking about something else? I mean, the 95 Source Awards. Were there more than one Source Awards? There was no beefs. There was no violence. Nobody had no fights. Nobody got shot. Nobody got even punched in the face, slapped, nothing. Okay. The shit that popped off with Big Jake, rest in peace, getting killed in Atlanta is what started the beats. And with Pac getting out of jail and Pac carrying whatever he carried from the robbery and shit like that, and who he blamed for that, that's what fueled the beef between East, West, Pac, Biggie, Bad Boy, Death Row. Yeah, the shit that happened at the Source Awards, Suge said what he said, and that created a little bit, but that wasn't nothing that motherfuckers was getting killed behind.
Neither none of them got killed. Well, maybe big ones. Motherfuckers didn't die behind that shit, man.
What you mean they didn't die behind it? Big Jake died. A lot of motherfuckers, several motherfuckers died.
That shit didn't die behind no beat, no East West Coast beat. That's not how Big Jake got killed. He got killed on some whole other shit. And then it started creating that.
He got killed.
Even Pac,
Death Row, Bad Boy. No,
bad, but not that early, Dave. Not that early.
What you mean not that early? So why did he get killed? The fuck? That's exactly why. What you mean?
That's not what they said, Dave. That's not what they said, girl.
Well, who said?
Suge said.
Okay. All right. Well, we taking Suge's word?
Yeah, for sure. Like for sure, I'm taking her word. Yeah.
Okay.
I was genuinely
Suge was my man. Big Jake was my man. And Puff was my man. I knew all of them, all the people involved, and all, you know what I mean, closely.
But by that same standard with white people controlling the culture, they.
So now there's a white boy here that's explaining to them exactly what the fuck happened, why this shit is a ramification, and these niggas is fighting them back and saying, "Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it," because we should take responsibility. Blah 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 blah. Nah, nigga, let him voice his opinion because you know what? White people know what they're doing. So if he's a white boy that's trying to stick up for the culture, y'all should take heed to that instead of just pushing him away and saying, "Oh, because he's not rapping and he's not spitting these little candy ass bars that motherfucking Eminem got. That he doesn't have a voice or nothing like that. He fucking did a lot. It's documented, like you said, it is documented. So y'all should listen to what he has to say in terms of what happened to the rap game. If y'all don't do that, shows y'all ignorance and y'all lack of judgment. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
It just sounded a bit weird. Like we all grew up on this shit, bro. Like being in your magazine was the envy for all of us. But even when you're talking about it, it's like look at you and like you talk about him, like y'all kind of the same. I mean, maybe you didn't use the N word when you was little, but you is controlling a lot in black culture.
Yeah, from if you take a standpoint and look, step back and look at it from you could make that comparison, no question. I can agree with that. But as individuals and what our impact was and how we carried ourselves and the people, it's totally different. Again, like I said, first of all, like if he really was cut from the same type of cloth as I was, he would have been talking that pro-black shit from the time he got in the game, not years later after he was a multi-platinum star, after the racist songs came out. Can nobody find no example
I'm gonna put the link
of
in
him talking any type of pro-black,
No, but you just
learn. Because as a white man in hip hop, that's your obligation, that's your responsibility. If you want to be in hip hop, who created that rule? Who made that rule? I mean, you made that rule.
Come on, dog. That's some cool, nice behavior. Who made that rule? Fuck, he's right. As a white boy in hip hop, y'all should fucking understand where this shit come from and pay homage, man. What the hell is Royce talking about? About who made that rule? You know what I'm saying? Royce, you really disappointed me right now, man, because Eminem won't even say that. Oh, I don't have to do that. I don't have to pay homage. Nah, nigga. Fuck is wrong with y'all niggas, man?
Sense to me, it's not a common sense. No.
Common sense aside, when did he actually start doing this?
Right, started doing it.
I got a point. Because he's saying that this was in response to this exposure. So my question is, what is your receipt for when he actually started doing this? Because you're making it sound like it happened right after.
Right after. I mean, that's when he went on and started like thanking a lot of the pioneers of hip hop, which he never did before. The Cool Hercs and the Rock.
No, I'm not asking what. I'm asking when.
When?
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard.
It happened after.
I know it was after, but after could be 10 minutes. After could be 10 years.
Fall of 2002. So after 2000, from 2003 on, is when you'll find M saying and doing things that would be considered pro-black and supportive, as a white man in the culture should be. In my opinion,
but you don't actually have receipts of those things, right?
I don't know anything about white man being pro-black. I just see
he ain't pro-black, but in support, definitely. He ain't pro-black.
Like, I don't think no white man breathing air is pro-black.
Nah, he can't.
He's just not anti-black. But you don't got to be, if you're a white man, you're not supposed to be pro. You could be whatever. You just don't got to be anti-us. You don't got to be fucking us over. But
what do you mean by not anti-black and not pro-black? Pro-black is being not anti-black, because at the end of the day, if you anti-white, you pro-black. You know what I'm saying? But if you pro-black, you're not anti-white. Let me rephrase that. If you pro-black, you ain't anti-black, right? But if you anti-black, if you anti-white, that don't mean you pro-black. So there's a lot of that actually means you're pro-black. So if you're anti-white, anti-black, I mean, that would automatically mean that you're pro-white. So if you're not pro-black, that would automatically mean that you ain't for black people. That you don't like white, like you don't care for black people in a space where that's predominantly ran by black folks. So I hope I didn't mess y'all up too much when I was explaining that, but it's the real deal, you know what I'm saying? You can't like us, be down with us, but not give a fuck about our plight. You know what I'm talking about? All right.
It's just a rough thing. Y'all, if you're gonna be a leader, if you're gonna be a leader in the culture, you do. You can't be a leader in the culture and not be supportive.
But we also kind of signed that role on, babe. Like you took on that role by choice. Like Ben didn't put no gun in your head, cuz, and say you needed to do this. You chose to do that, probably based on the niggas you was fucking with. And we can't be mad at the next motherfucker that do or don't. It's our responsibility to handle our community in the first place. It ain't like Eminem.
What the fuck did you just say? You can't be mad at the next motherfucker that do it don't. Niggas don't even know how to speak, man. What the fuck does that mean? The next motherfucker that do it don't. Did he do it or didn't he do it? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you niggas, man? That's why sometimes I gotta ask myself. You know what I'm saying? Who's out here really entertaining us, you know? A bunch of goofballs, man. Just because y'all spit a little differently, automatically y'all got a voice, right? But I don't know, man. I ain't drafting. I'm gonna say some shit, say something intelligent with vernacular and accurate articulation. You know what I'm talking about?
It ain't Dave Mays, it's glasses shit. It's our shit.
Right. Well, then I'm handling for white people. That's what I'm saying to all these white people in hip hop that ain't acting like that, that ain't showing that. Is they're wrong, and it's fucked up that they can sit back and make millions, billions of dollars off this culture that comes from this poverty and these conditions in our inner cities, and not give a damn about it. You know what I mean? That's fucked up to me, and I'm not gonna stand up for white people just being in the culture, making billions of dollars, and not giving a fuck.
But this is the point though, Dave. Like, and I just was saying the same point about hip hop. Just because them motherfuckers rap don't mean they hip hop. Rap that went mainstream. The culture
became a business. It became commercial in the business. Sure, there's plenty.
What do you mean just because motherfuckers rap don't mean they hip hop? So Eminem is not hip hop? You see what I'm talking about? Now, I guess Royce is gonna interject and say some goofy shit. Because Royce, man, I don't know, man. He was raised in Detroit, man. Detroit of all places, you should already know how to conduct yourself and carry yourself as a black man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about none of that weak shit that makes you want to think about some sweet shit. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that, oh, I gotta protect this man because he gave me a job. You know what I'm saying? He looked out for me. He changed my life. I guess he did change your life, right? But really and truly, look for your damn self and your people first. Now you committing a treasonous act right now, cuz.
Plenty of people that just rapping just to make money, but that wasn't what the authentic culture wasn't like that. That's how the corporations ultimately were able to change it, to suck all that out of it, because that authenticity of the culture was there up
until the mid '90s, you know, era until Pac died. I don't really agree with that timeline. I mean, I'm too tired to sit here and really run down the timeline. But when you look at who was controlling 90% of the rap labels, it wasn't black people. And you can take that back to the Tough City and Profile Records days. You can go like you got the Robinsons, you got the Sugar Hill Empire, you got Bobby Robinson. I think who was doing Enjoy like that first run. Right. Sugar Hill Records, Enjoy Records, Paul Winley. Yes.
But those are all before the major labels. Really, that's all before the major. Once the major labels realized that hip hop was going to be around,
Tough City, early rap releases on. Like you got to remember, the major labels were the big indies. It was Tommy Boy, Tom Silverman. It was Profile. Like
but they were indies. I'm talking about the major.
But those were our majors back. Those were our majors back then. And let's not forget that Tough City. And let's not forget that Tough City was run by a white man that had distribution with Columbia. So I'm trying to figure out at what point the point that you're talking about that it was controlled by us and dictated by us, it wasn't.
I'm talking about Aaron Fuchs couldn't sign an artist, a white rapper, in 1987 to Tough City Records and make him successful through his connections with the music industry. He couldn't do that.
Who did he sign him for?
He had to find who was on Tough City. Whoever he had to find somebody that was hot, that was popping in the streets.
Aaron Fuchs
Tough City to make some money.
10 000 euros, 25 000 euros, 100 000 euros, ça c'est le résultat de mes élèves. Ils sont passés à l'action, ils ont profité de l'information gratuite, ils ont cliqué sur le bouton qui apparaît sur votre écran.
This is where I disagree with Dave.
That's what Aaron.
Because the internet did do a lot to fuel that, but I guess he's talking about during the late '90s. You know what I'm saying? Everything made towards a shift because they see how much money they were getting and how they could capitalize on this shit called hip hop.
Fuchs and Tom Silverman and Fred Muneo and all these white men that were running, Corey Robbins and Profile, all of them. They knew, hey, I got to find a black guy that's got some shit that the streets are going to fucking relate to, and that's how I'm going to make money.
Okay? Aaron Fuchs took a different route. This is Scratch, y'all. What up, everybody? Aaron Fuchs took a different route to control the game. He bought the rights.
Thank you. This is what I was about to go with.
He bought the rights to impeach the president and some of the other records, the main records that we sampled. He bought the rights to them and fucking sued everybody in hip hop.
Right. Well, he's
so again, and that's why I was asking about the timeline, and I was about to land on that with Aaron because our whole foundation got ripped out.
That's some good information right there. There's a white boy that bought all the rights to all these songs, turn around and sue each artist because of the sampling and everything like that. So it goes to show y'all how dirty it is. Okay. Here, bring this for your brother.
From under us.
But can you name a song that made it big or an artist that made it big prior to the late 1990s that didn't start with a buzz and a bubble from the streets? Can you name that?
It depends on the scene you're talking about.
That changed, Dave, because as the internet started happening, it made other people have a voice. The streets just wasn't the voice anymore.
On top of that, Dave, I mean, and I'm sure you're aware of this.
This started to change once they consolidated radio in '96 with the Telecommunications Act, where all the radio stations were bought up and controlled. It started with '96 with Hove, with Bad Boy, with all the artists that were getting on the radio. '97, '98, '99. That's when all this started happening. Before the internet.
You are totally removing the late '90s underground hip hop scene from this conversation.
I'm not removing it.
But you are because you're talking about the streets, right? But then you have the success of Ruckus Records. Oh, another label that was.
They weren't selling millions of records. They weren't selling Bad Boy.
But they were running their particular scene.
Which is
Yeah, and they tried to sign him. He had a deal on the table with them.
I was there with M when he walked out of the. I wasn't there with him. I watched it happen. Is where I'm going with it. Like I worked. My day job was literally right next door to Rawkus. I was there when he was at one point he was trying to do the deal.
But what's the point you're making? Because
the point that I'm making is that you're talking about the streets. But I think Glasses had made a point, and he might not have necessarily articulated it 100%. But the point that he was making was, at a certain point, it wasn't just the streets anymore. You had that whole Fat Beats era. You had that crowd, and that crowd. No one artist is selling 1 million copies, but you know what? You got 100 artists who are selling 20,000 with a much lower overhead, which causes a different empire to start to rise up. And that's the school that M came from. So no, was it the streets? No.
Education providers, I'd love to show you how to get more students for your education business and scale to.
Was it that whole Lyricist Lounge battle scene, sound bombing audience that, and don't forget, Rawkus, even though they weren't selling millions of records, they had Pharaoh, they had Mos, they had Reflection Eternal. They had pillar acts in that.
We sold 2 million records on Fresh Records too.
Exactly. Thank you, Scratch. So there's a whole other scene that's burgeoning, and that's the scene that M came from. No, he didn't came from the streets, and I'm not even defending him. I'm just making sure the timeline is put in proper perspective and accurate. Because there's more at that point. There's more than just the streets.
Okay, I mean everything you said is factual, but what I'm talking about, I'm talking about is the turning point in hip hop when the streets did not need to stamp something to make it become a multi-platinum successful song and artist. That started in the late 90s and early 2000s.
It's the inevitable
to this day.
Yeah, but it's the inevitable.
Helped that a little bit,
not a little bit. Hey, not a little bit. A lot of it. It's the inevitable. It was the inevitable that this was going to happen. I mean, even the fact
how many years that took. The internet came out in 2000. The
internet was
only the last. The internet was around 90.
That you can go viral.
What? I was on the internet when I was in high school in '94. What are you talking about?
He talking about going viral. He's not talking about viral internet. Who was on? There was about 12 people on the internet in '94.
No, there were not, Dave. Maybe not in your world.
He's talking. No, he's
your world ain't the only world, bro.
Blake, Judge. He's talking about like the grand.
I know, but speak factually, bro. People were already creating music. People were already creating music by the late like.
Dumbass youngin right here. Talk about speak factual. There was nobody on the internet in '90s.
Late '90s.
The internet didn't explode until the late '90s when all the .com started raising.
And that's exactly the era that I'm talking about. That's my point.
Okay, but during that era is when hip hop artists should have gone independent and used the internet to sell all their music.
Oh, this is this reaction video. We got a reaction video right here.
That in my history and what I've done as far as fucking with the streets and as far as fucking with authenticity hip hop is documented. Okay, there's you fuck with Benzino. You don't fucking know.
Including people outside of the black culture inside of it. Man. That's the issue.
Fucking problems. We help create this safe space for white people in hip hop that still exists to this day. All throughout the media, all throughout.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Me, what made me different, in my opinion, and made the source different as the person who created the source, is my understanding as a white person in hip hop. It wasn't that I couldn't be white and be in hip hop, but I had to understand that hip hop comes from the streets. I had to understand what comes with that.
And Eminem knows that. He's aware of that.
My, kind of first and foremost at all times, even as I'm building a multi-million-dollar corporation and understanding that those two things, as hard as it might be, you have to try to keep, balance those two things.
So are you implying that Marshall didn't do that with his career?
I'm saying he didn't do that until after he was exposed. There's no
exposed as what? What do you mean?
What? Well, once the racist, songs and stuff came out, that's
y'all went and found those songs.
No, y'all went and got those songs. His people, bro. Hold on. Just to make sure everything's clear. His people, the people that he started rapping with, the white people that he grew up with before he was hanging around black people, who he made the racist rap hour with, they came from Detroit with the tape, up to my office and played the shit for me with a whole bunch of shit, including the pieces that got.
Bro, the fact that we're sitting here, I get it, man. I get it. No one hears music, no one hears rap. It's just race. And the fact that we're still here talking about something that Eminem said when he was 16. Like, it don't matter what the fuck he said. He was 16. This motherfucker's 48 years old and still having to answer up to some shit that he said when he was 16. That's crazy. Eminem is not a fucking racist by any means. Even if he was racist back then, he's not a racist now. And he hasn't been in forever. We're gonna fucking give weight to something that he's.
That's one thing I don't agree with. If once a racist, always racist. No, actually, you can be a reform racist, but you got to do a lot more than Eminem is doing. You can't just tell me, oh, he ain't a racist now, and I got to take your word for it. You got to prove it to me. Then prove it to the next man. Then prove it to the next man. Because maybe you don't see something that the next man gonna see. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that, homeboy. But I like his perspective for now, you know?
Said when he was a child, bro. That's crazy. They're using any type of fucking ammunition or anything to minimize this motherfucker's footprint on hip hop, bro. That is crazy. Dog. Crazy. We still talking about that. And I'm black. I don't want to hear no racist shit. Anybody says some racist shit to me right now, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking mouth. But if you say some shit about something 30 years ago, 20, 30, 32 years ago, dog. 32 years ago. Bruh, come on, man. We got to do better, dog. We got to do better, bro.
Shut your ass up. You sound like a coon because they're still arresting and prosecuting Nazi soldiers right now. So what you talking about is some lame ass shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about what he did back in the day. What he's doing is the shit that he did with Snoop, the little underhanded shit he's doing, and his lack of accountability when it comes to this hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? So don't misconstrue the two, man. It ain't about what he said at 16 years old. And he should have came out himself and said, "Yeah, that's how I felt at 16." Like Liam, what's his name? Liam Nielsen or whatever his name is. The dude that did Taken. He came out himself and he was like, "Yeah, I felt like busting a black guy's head in with a baseball bat because one of these white women came and said she got raped by a black man." So he came out in front of the story and said it himself, which is what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But don't bring this bullshit about Eminem said nigga at 16 and that's what niggas is vexed about. Nah, that ain't homeboy.
That got released. So we didn't go looking for those. His people brought those songs up to us.
Right. Okay. So you talking about some tapes he made? They made when he was 16 years old. You acting like he made those songs and released them within the culture. Like
it don't matter. The songs exist. Listen.
Wait. So can I just ask one question?
How many other times did the Source run a hit piece on a rapper besides this? There was clearly
because all the white boys said nigga. All the white boys got nigga videos. Why y'all ain't exposing those? All the white boys got nigga videos. Go look on YouTube. Dave, you probably got one.
Wait, Dave, I'm just trying to understand one thing.
Fuck out of here with that.
Can I ask one question? Dave, are you saying that he started to align himself with black artists once y'all put that movie out?
No, not align with black artists, but talk publicly in a more pro-black kind of and pro-hip-hop position than he ever had before. He was aligned with
That's bullshit. I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like he's trying to change the narrative to support what the fuck he's saying, dog. Because even before I was on Eminem, I ain't know nothing about nothing in regards to no tapes put out or whatever the fuck, man. But like Infinite album, right? That album's some culture shit, bro. I like that album so much more than Slim Shady LP, just for me personally, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that was just some culture, hard, authentic 90s type of shit. And for you to make that album, bro, and to sound like that, and to hear the Nas and AZ influence in that shit, bro, that's black influence, bro. It's black influence. That's before Eminem was popping. So he was already thoroughly immersed in the culture, supporting black culture, supporting black hip hop. It wasn't until he got with Dre, he put that Slim Shady shit out. That's the way he wanted to go. Just that album didn't pop. So what the fuck he's saying doesn't make any sense. It wasn't.
Okay, if that's true, how come he ain't got an album with Nas and AZ? Or at least one song? Do Eminem got a song with Nas or AZ? Come on now.
Until that shit got out and he got exposed that he switched gears and now he's ripping for the culture and shit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit from what I've got to this point. That Infinite was white, but Infinite sounded black, blackity black with a culture, black flow. His flow, you know what I'm saying? Or high school with that Nas, AZ, New York type of shit, bro. That shit was all in there, bro. So fuck out of here with what he's talking about. He's just trying to make this shit fit his narrative to get his point across. That shit is fucking whack.
Black artist, that was part of the marketing strategy for him. We're going to make him from Detroit, the Black City. We're going to line him with Dr. Dre.
Because that's where he's from. That's where he's from.
I can actually I knew him before there was ever a Dre meeting. I used to see him around New York, spoken to offices. Like that was I don't see the correlation there. I was watching him do that before everybody knew who he was.
So he was trying to get on as a rapper.
There was a white DJ who I worked with that played his first record. He's Stretch Your Papito. So he was the first one to play his record, and Stretch is white, and we played on the radio. First record ever.
I got a correlation with all of this, with all these accolades he gets from the black community, all this upper echelon shit he do in that black space. What has Eminem done except release that Black Lives Matter bullshit ass album, Rivals? What else? What has he done to benefit the same black culture that he benefits from?
He gave you 50 Cent.
I didn't think so. So like I said, I didn't think so. He didn't do nothing. Thanks.
What you mean? What do you mean he didn't do nothing?
He didn't do anything. What did he do?
Well,
what
nigga, I just told you. What do you mean? So what I just said don't hold no merit? 50 Cent G Unit? That's not good?
No, that's not.
So you saying you don't like their music, or what are you saying?
What did you do to benefit the black culture that you eat from? Did you give back? Why are there kids?
And that was not Eminem. That was more Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? But Eminem had his little production side to it because it was a marketing ploy. Don't get it twisted.
In Detroit, where you live, are the black kids in Detroit where you live, are they better off because of anything you did?
No. What does any of that have to do with Eminem as a rapper? What does any of that have to do with Eminem? It's all about race, bro. It's all about race, dog. Every ounce of this shit is all about race. It has nothing to do with Eminem's ability as a rapper. It's just a fucked up situation for Eminem, bro. He's nasty on the mic. He's white, and motherfuckers is mad, dog. Like what others? There's plenty of black rappers that are eating off black culture. Are they giving back? The fuck you mean? Because I'm white and I'm good at rap and I'm better than everybody, I gotta give back. Even though he probably does give back, but it's a whack reason to try to fucking minimize this motherfucker, man. Like it's a fucked up situation. I would hate to be in that fucking situation, bro. Like he's fucked either way, bro. You know what I'm saying? It goes beyond just the rap. You know what I'm saying? Like Eminem is dope as fuck. He's dope as fuck. I support Eminem. You know what I'm saying? I'm the first to say Eminem is not my favorite rapper, but real recognize real, and the motherfucking rap his motherfucking ass off. But to me, it's more than rap at this point, dog. It's just this racist bullshit. This racist bullshit we gotta do with. That's the fucking issue. That's the fucking issue. Motherfuckers cannot let that shit go. Cannot let that shit go, bro. What has he done? He eats off hip hop. The black culture is what put money in his mouth. What has he done to give back to black culture? And they're arguing about Eminem's role in hip hop, which should have nothing to do with that. There's plenty of motherfucking selfish artists out here that don't give back to the community at all. A lot of which whom are black who don't give back at either. So,
like who? Name them. Most of the niggas from the hood that are black give back. What you talking about?
What are we talking about here, man? What are we talking about here, man? It's just fucked up. Are you saying do he give to charities? Is that what you're asking?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he gives to charities every single year, for sure. I know that person.
You know that. I don't see it.
Why you don't have to see it? You ain't from Detroit. What you got to see it for? That don't mean there's many black people. This fucking mouse is a clown, dog. He's a clown. Ready to kick his ass out the fucking group. You can't have motherfuckers. He's a parasite.
There's many black people from Detroit.
Just like Dave Mays and them be talking about he ain't from Detroit. He's very much from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all paint anecdotal pictures about somebody that y'all don't even know.
Why are we talking about anybody else other than
When did you first meet him? Because he's from Missouri and he didn't live. Yeah, he was born. I don't need you to tell me that, bro. Yeah, he was born in Missouri and then he moved here. You know what I'm saying? But he grew up on the east side. You know what I'm saying? Like he's from Detroit. People saying he come from a trailer park. He don't come from a trailer park. He's from Detroit. He lived in a trailer park. But he's from Detroit. But he's from Detroit.
What's up with Basement Productions and his group with the 4 white boys? You know about that?
I ain't never met them dudes, but Basement Productions, that's a production company. That's a production company he was signed to. Yeah, I never met those white dudes that he was in the group.
Him and 3 other white boys that had a group called Basement Productions. It's before he started fucking with black people.
No, Basement Productions is before he started fucking with. How does he know what Eminem was doing at all back then? Even if Eminem was with a group of 3 other white boys, just because it's with 3 other white boys, does that mean he wasn't fucking with black people? Like, what the fuck, bro? How you go from that to that? I don't know if you go from that to that. The same production company that he was. Oh, man, this shit is same production company. That was the 2 brothers. Yeah, Marky and Jeff. The Bass Brothers. That's who that is.
I don't know.
I do know. What do you mean you don't know? I'm telling you. You saying you don't know, but I'm telling you. So no, you don't have all the facts. If you think what I'm telling you is false, why would I lie to you, brother? I don't have no reason to lie.
What did you say that I said was false?
Oh, I thought I heard you say you got the facts. Like something I'm saying is false.
No, I didn't say nothing. I don't know what you said it was false, but I do have a lot of facts because I did my research and I know a lot of shit about what happened.
But one thing you just spit as a fact was very wrong.
What?
In regards to the Bass Brothers and Basement Productions.
What? No, Basement Productions was four white boys that made rap tapes together. Okay, when Eminem was like whatever, about 18 years old, 19
16,
years old.
Dog, 16.
He wasn't
16. Don't twist it.
You know the black girlfriend? There was no black girlfriend. That was a lie that was made up to make it seem to justify that song where he called black women bitches. There was no black girlfriend. You're gonna sit here and tell me there was a black girlfriend?
How do you know that to be true?
How do you know it to be
true? You saying am I gonna sit here and tell you something? You talking to somebody that's friends with him. You don't know him.
You know that to be true. I'm asking you.
I don't know nothing about way back then. I know I've been on tour with him. I know I've been on tour with him. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, so are you asking me if he fucked
no, I'm asking you. Is that what you asking me? Girlfriend when he was 16.
Why are we talking about that, dog? Why is this grown ass man Dave? I don't know who the fuck he's affiliated with Source Magazine, so he's professional in the corporate world in some type of way, right? Why are we questioning who Eminem was with or who Eminem was not with when he was fucking 16? Bigger picture, bro.
Broke up with him, and that's why
I didn't know him when he was 16, brother. I don't know. I don't know.
Not why. But that was the reason that was given in the prepared statement that was put out.
Who cares? Who cares? Why do you care about it?
The reason anybody cares is because
what kind of girlfriend did Post Malone have when he was 16? Why you don't care about that?
Post Malone. I don't give a fuck about Post Malone. What that got to do with Post Malone is what I'm talking about. The reason Post Malone exists and it has the
racist ass, this motherfucker white. He's a white boy talking like that. He's a white boy. He got something against white rappers. He got something against white rappers.
or white entertainers or whatever the fuck of success that he has is because not just of Eminem, but the impact used by the machine and these companies, these corporations to change the market of hip hop and allow them to control.
So you think Post Malone's presence in the culture is a bad thing? You think that's a bad thing for the culture?
I do. I really don't. Hold on. One mic, guys. One mic. One mic. Rock type of dude for me.
No, he ain't. He's not a Kid Rock type of dude, bro. He's not. He's not.
They did it with the Beastie Boys way before that.
It didn't work. And the Beastie Boys was a little.
What you mean it didn't work?
They did what with the Beastie Boys? They did what with the Beastie Boys?
I'm saying if you're talking about white people rapping in hip hop, that was already successful. So it's not Eminem. Eminem is not the precursor
from the Beastie Boys to 14 years later with Eminem. There was nothing. You had third.
You had Vanilla Ice.
What happened? What else?
Every white boy.
Eminem is when all the white rappers.
Listen. Every white boy
now have come into the business.
Every white boy came into here, dragged their nuts through the culture, and kept it moving to rock, except Marshall. He's the only one. Everybody else, including Rick Rubin.
Well, he could have went. He could have went. He could have went and did the rock. Let him go.
Yeah, but he didn't because he was raised by hip hop. But that's your opinion. But I'm just telling you, that's something to look at. Like what Dave Mays is talking about. I think the countercultural kind of like thing that Dave Mays is talking about.
Yo, so that's Dave Mays. He's the writer of the whatever the source. He's that guy talking this ignorant ass shit, man. Ignorant ass shit, bro. Somebody has that much power. How much power does the Source magazine have right now? But I mean, it did have a lot of power at one point. But that much power has that mentality in his fucking brain. How is he a fucking leader? How is he a boss? How does he conduct himself relationship wise with his counterparts and shit, bro? When he has that ignorant ass type mentality in his head, brother, how does that fucking work? How does that work? Basically, he's saying only motherfuckers that should be able to make moves in this hip hop shit are black people, and you need to bow down to black people in order to fucking move in this hip hop industry, bro. Like, the fucking cat is out the bag, bro. Hip hop is not black no more. Hip hop is every fucking thing, bro. It's every fucking thing, dog. And he's saying this whole thing about Eminem changing the market. A lot of white people are buying hip hop now because of Eminem. Everybody's gonna fucking eat. When something is making that amount of money, everybody's gonna find a way to get their fucking fingers in it some type of way. Eminem was the fucking perfect fingers to dive in hip hop to turn that into what it is. But let whoever who wants to appreciate Eminem. Like he's done those numbers because of his situation, bro. But Eminem making these moves and eating the amount he's eating is not taking any food out of anybody else's mouth, bro. Like Drake's audience is not affected by Eminem's audience. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Lil Baby's audience not affected by Eminem's audience. The Eminem's audience is gonna stick with Eminem. And then at the same time, they're gonna fucking do one down with other fucking artists. If Eminem wasn't there, then there'll be a fucking cap on hip hop, bro. Like he's fucked either way. He's fucked either way. There's no way to appease everybody, bro. Too much emotion involved, bias involved. When it's not, it should just be strictly focused on the fucking music, dog. Like, this is fucking stupid, bro. It's stupid as shit. It's frustrating, dog. Down the races. Down the race. It's always down the fucking race.
Y'all are throwing him in that category just because he's white, and you're doing it not knowing who you're talking about. You just assuming.
Everything is about race, bro. That's why they stormed the nation's capital the other day. Come on, man. Y'all niggas gotta use your brains a little bit and stop acting like you're so emotional and be like, oh, why are they talking about race? Because race is a factor in everything. Dave Mays is the most silent individual on this call right now. And I ain't sticking up for no white boy, but it is what it is.
You comparing them to Kid Rock? That's crazy.
For it all, he was the catalyst. Whether it was intentional by his part or not.
He's not the catalyst, but he just said Vanilla Ice, Beastie Boys. I don't know all the other fucking white rappers that were out before Eminem, but there's a whole bunch of other rappers out before Eminem. There's a lot more rappers after him. And with all that being said, ain't nobody ever fucking come close to fucking touching the type of shit Eminem's been able to do as a white rapper in hip hop, bro.
That's how he was used.
So the Beastie Boys weren't a catalyst?
No.
What about their days? How would you qualify them as not being a catalyst?
I mean, acting like Beastie Boys because the Beastie Boys didn't.
The Beastie Boys wasn't even rappers. Them niggas was doing all that bullshit music. It came to get one rap album, and you will not, and you won't say that shit really. I mean, they were
wait, so the Beastie Boys were not. Wow.
So now they mad at Eminem for doing rap the right way.
They wasn't even rappers at first. They actually came to became rappers.
Are you familiar with what was happening in downtown Manhattan, like 82, 83, when the scenes were colliding? So you're bringing up the fact that they weren't originally rappers. Yes, they had a group called, was it Cookie Puss or was it the Cookie Puss era?
That's not what I'm saying, Jeff.
No, but do you know the era that you're speaking on?
No, but just listen.
But then you might not want to speak on it because right now you're in territory that you're clearly not clear on. You are clearly not clear on this era. You are clearly not clear on this era, bro.
Just listen, just listen. The same thing they talking about with M, it's enough people that you could convict for that. Not the one motherfucker that's the rapper. Not the one motherfucker that stayed in hip hop. It's a lot of motherfuckers that came from other genres, that came in hip hop. There's other motherfuckers who was hip hop that went into other genres. Agree. The one white boy that's been this shit the whole time, I mean, like, that's crazy. And no, it's not M's fault that the white boy influx happened. It's not his fault. It was white boys in between and white boys after. They're still not one.
That nigga was side by side. He was side by side with us at the open mics, at all the battles. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way we came up, he came up. The only difference is he's just a white boy. That's the difference. I don't think all of us put him on some high platform like the greatest. Like me personally, that's Hov for me. Hov is at the tippy top of lyricism to me.
What about the song where he used the N word with the ER? That one. Did you listen to that one? And what was your thought about that?
Who was that asking me that question? What song are you talking about, Dave?
Songs from that tape where he said, "I don't like the chicks with the big
Dave, let me tell you, when y'all was doing that shit, when y'all had that little baby.
What about
listen. When y'all was doing, listen, let me talk, man. Like when y'all had y'all little baby beef going on, I was in Detroit. Me and M wasn't speaking to each other. We wasn't around each other. I don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he
baby beef and none of that. I don't know what you're talking.
No, nigga, that's what y'all were engaged in.
In the culture, side, this, that, and the other, and he's just like all of us. I'm saying, but not do all of us have a song where we use the NIGGER word derogatively towards black people, where we have another song where we call black people porch monkeys?
Man, Dave, you gonna have to. You know what? The same thing that Mouse is talking about with M, I'm gonna have to see that with you. I'm gonna have to see some receipts with you to see what you really doing for the fucking community to be so you can be some sort of.
First of all, we can talk about me all day, but why?
No. We're not gonna talk about you all day. We're not gonna talk about you all day. I'm saying you don't get to be a gatekeeper. Who the fuck are you? Like what are you doing?
Who the fuck am I? I'm the man who created the source, and the source.
And you partnered up with the man that ruined it. You partnered up with the man that ruined it. So we on to the next topic. That's it. You ain't nobody like that.
This entitled ass motherfucker, man. This entitled ass motherfucker, bro. Who the fuck are you? I'm the one who created the source. And you also teamed up with the motherfucker that ruined the shit. So shut the fuck up. On to the next topic. Get their ass, boys. Get their ass, boys.
So I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
I know it's no.
This guy's a cornball. Who says shit like that? I mean, okay. He partnered up with a guy that ruined it. So, what magazine came after the source that was so popular? XXL, right? Okay. XXL. They were giving out mad money, advertising dollars and shit like that. Were they as detail oriented and as about the culture like the source? No, they were not. And then what you got here is someone saying that he teamed up with the person that ruined the source. But actually, Benzino and them guys were actually probably protecting homeboy. Yeah, he ruined the source or whatnot, but magazines are already going out by that time. So another bad faith argument, but I don't expect nothing from a regular YouTuber. But I'm just saying, you know, now they're hyping up Eminem bandwagon a little too much because he can be a good dude, look out for people and all that. But at the end of the day, I don't know, man. What has he done in the public eye to help black folks as a whole? You know what I'm saying? Eminem, it's like sort of an enigma, you know? Rap is a space where you just put out your talent and you get paid for it, but there's a lot of red tape that goes along with being a black artist in a white culture, you know? Or you know, a black artist in a white society in a black culture, if you know what I mean. So this argument about Eminem's just a white dude in hip hop, that's it. Or what about all the other dudes in all the other genres? I guess Elvis was just another dude in the rock, right? Or all the other people that stole our ideas, from rock and roll to jazz, all that shit. Come on, dog.
Okay, look, I agree with you, Royce. I agree with you, right? We can't have two white people compete because then it start looking like. Now, I'm asking you as a black.
Like that. And he ain't black, he ain't for the culture. Blah, 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 blah. It just fights the fucking bullshit we gotta go through in this world, man. And it goes both ways. We got racist motherfuckers in every fucking demographic, man. It's just fucked up. It's fucked up.
I look like a MAGA hat here on there, man. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that was like that. So that's dope, man. Let me know what y'all think. That shit went way too fucking long, but hopefully it retains y'all's attention long enough. So yeah, man, y'all fuck with that. Fuck with this. Push the notification button for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Patreon family, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Think about signing up. Go ahead and sign up. It's lit as fuck. Lit as fuck. This was in just the threads of one of the posts I had. You know, yeah, merch I was available. Talk your shit. I'm out.
You just want to see niggas talk shit. That's all you want to do. You ain't trying to spit nothing constructive. So y'all let me know, man. Because I look at it like this. If Eminem is out here claiming the Detroit versus everybody and all this bullshit and all that, what has he done for the black people as a whole? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna come and stand up for your white boy, homie. I hope when somebody comes at, or when a white dude comes at Royce, they don't.
Without pausing your music.
Eminem stands up for him
Start a
like
trial
that
of
because
YouTube
yo,
Premium
it
on
seems
us
to me
and
like
listen uninterrupted.
it's a lot of bullshit, you know. It's a lot of sweet shit going down. Ain't nobody keeping it all the way above. This is what's stopping us from being real with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Eminem, what does Eminem really got to show for anything that he's doing out here, dog? You know what I'm saying? Slaughterhouse don't have one fucking what you call that? Platinum plaque, or they probably do. I don't know. Slaughterhouse isn't going nowhere, you know. E12, a bunch of weird niggas in the group. That shit didn't go nowhere. Obi Trice, he up in the D shooting the shit up. We got Proof didn't die, you know. I wonder if he still talks to those two white boys they made them songs back in the day. I'm not saying Eminem's not a good dude. He might be a good dude, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. He don't do it for me like that, you know? gotta do a little bit more, you know what I'm talking about? So that goes to show you where they coming from on this whole Eminem shit, Eminem got into battling. That Total Slaughter shit was alright, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Eminem when it comes to that, but let's see what Benzino had to say about this whole shit. This little Queen.
Do you stream?
I see where he's talking about him.
I mean, the time where I inserted my with the mics was with the Eminem situation.
Yes. See what Benzino got to talk about.
I mean, because at this point it's like,
shit. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm gonna pull my dick, put it on the table now. The one time where I am the source, I'm gonna have to show you now. The one time where I'm gonna be arrogant and gonna be like, this is my shit, was that time. Because I felt like
he's right. You know what I'm talking about?
I felt like at that time, like, you gotta understand I'm from Boston. And the racist shit was heavy with me. When this kid came, I already knew what hip hop, what the labels was trying to do. I already me and Steve Stout knew each other, and I knew what he was trying to do. Like, everybody had their mind on, we got to get the next white rapper because of money, 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 money. If we get the white rapper, we get all this money from all the white people. And I felt like by doing that, you're going to take away from the black people. Because I felt like the one thing, if we get the white rapper, we get all this money from all the white people. And I felt like by doing that, you're going to take away from the black people. Because I felt like the one thing that hip hop did was got white people to buy into black culture. Okay. And once you get the white rapper now, then they're not going to buy into black culture anymore. Not to the extent that they did. Not only you're going to fuck history up like how Elvis did. Because hundreds of years from now, they're going to pull up who was the greatest Reds hip hop thing. And it's only his face is going to pop up because he sold all the records. Everybody else is not even going to be remembered. Just like Elvis.
But that wasn't the real reason you was mad.
Of course it was. That was the only reason.
I thought he denied. Hold on, let me finish. I thought he denied being interviewed. He probably was upset, and then he did a double XL interview. Be honest, man.
My mother, I love Mary Scott. That had nothing to do with it.
Did you try to interview him?
I wasn't interviewing. I didn't care. Remember, I told you I'm not an interview nigga.
Yeah, but you all behind the scenes. So
but I never was behind that scene.
Did he ever come to you and say,
Never.
Never about an interview?
Never.
So the source never want to interview Eminem.
Who knows? Who knows? No.
Anybody who disagree with what I'm saying and wants to debate me about this whole Eminem situation, I can put the link in the comment section. We could chop it up. You know what I'm saying? We could chop it up because I ain't out here bullshitting, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky, right? I come from this tribe, the Zulu tribe. You know what I'm saying? I come from the real McCoys, you know? You know what I'm saying? I come from the tribe of revolutionaries, the Stokeleys, the Malcolms, Booker T, you know what I'm saying? The Nat Turners, the Dessalines, you know what I'm talking about? I come from the tribe of the Bookmans, the Awabakas, you know what I'm saying? Come from the tribe of real McCoys, you know what I'm talking about? Let's continue.
Back then, he was just started out. Nobody never give it. Listen. When the first thing I heard about this white rapper, I was just against white rappers.
Okay, so you was against Vanilla Ice as well?
Vanilla Ice as well.
Okay.
All right? Period. I just wasn't with it. I just felt like,
And I can understand where he's coming from because a lot of people felt that way. Now it's not cool to feel that way anymore. So everybody's backing down and saying, I ain't saying nothing. Fuck all they got. Hip hop is about addressing the situation when it needs to be addressed. So when we gonna address it, we're gonna speak on it. You know what I'm saying? And the shit is real, man. Eminem be fucking around and be acting like he don't know nothing that's going on when it comes to black folks. But he knows how to rap, though. That's one thing he do know. Well, I know how to rap. You know, and a piece to the masses. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put on your critical thinking cap a little bit more tighter and think about the fuck y'all niggas is talking about out here. You know what I'm saying? For real. Go ahead, Benzino. Talk your shit.
Like, it's not like I wasn't because third base I fucked with the Beastie Boys. I just wasn't with the white rapper.
Tough guy. The Beastie Boys weren't really acting black. They're on their rocker shit. That's one thing you gotta give the Beastie Boys. They weren't trying to act black. They knew there was little Jewish boys and they conducted themselves as such. So you gotta give them that. Let's go.
To go pop, and MTV gives them all this love, and they ain't giving the same love to us.
Why you become mad at him and not
because he was the white rapper. He was the white rapper.
But then you
look. This is hip hop. Flip. Look, I took a couple shots at him on a song that was buried in a mixtape that his people must have gotten. And then he came back with a whole mixtape, going against me. So you know, this was hip hop at this point. Okay, I'm not trying to out rap this nigga, but my words in there hit him hard because he was mad. Oh, fake Al Pacino, you probably slew. Listen,
I like that. You liked it too. You didn't like
no.
You didn't like it?
No. This is what I'm saying. But my raps came from a real shit. I did sling crap.
Yes.
I was on some gangster shit. I was on some options. So all that shit, he's playing with words, but that was my life.
Okay.
That wasn't his life. Hip hop wasn't the culture of hip hop was my life. It wasn't his life. You know, he's trying to like when you look at Eminem, he tries to be tough. He tries to be, you know, this tough white kid persona from Detroit, but he wasn't from Detroit, and he wasn't tough, and he wasn't from that. So why don't you be who you really are? You're gonna come at me, I'm gonna expose you from who you really are because I'm a real street nigga. And I'm gonna expose that tough guy shit. You just wasn't like a rapper because you know you trying to be tough now and you trying to like question my street credibility in your raps. You can't.
Yeah, you can't do that, man. Eminem got a battery in his pack when the guy was 50, man. And that's that shit. That's some sucker shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's how war goes, you know. You get a little dudes behind you with a little bit of pull, then you start feeling yourself, you know what I'm saying? You start letting your nuts hang a little bit, but what you gotta do is you always be mindful that none of this shit is real unless you're real, you know what I'm saying? So that's why Eminem not saying that, because ain't nobody got his back really like that. Ain't nobody, you know, everybody's papered up right now. So 50 can't come and run to his aid every 2 seconds. 50's already doing his own shit, but I guess you gotta put rappers in front of him to appease to the masses. Let's continue.
I question my street credibility because I really was and is that street nigga. You aren't from Detroit. You aren't tough. You can rap, but these things that you are portraying, I'm exposing that. And the fact that I know for a fact, and I knew then that white America's gonna get on this kid and they're gonna push him up, and he's gonna be the fucking god of everything. To where is that now? You got 12, 13-year-old rap kids who just love him because he's white. That's just what it is.
You got to take accountability.
Well, I am.
You threw a shot at him first. You started.
Yes.
Right? You took accountability.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, that beef with him could have potentially kicked down the sauce. People say, hold on, Ben.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to let you go off.
Go
You
ahead.
got to take accountability. You started it.
I did.
You put out also the audio of him saying racial slurs. Back in the day, you put that out. You revealed that.
Oh, no. The white guys, I bought the tape from his partners that he made the Rap Racist Hour with.
But okay.
But what?
You put no buts. He
They
said
brought that to me and sold it to me.
okay, and you put it out. Yes.
Yes.
You were on full attack, but something that
Why
you
wouldn't
started.
I?
Something that you started though.
Okay, but wait a minute. Okay, so flip. If something that I start ended up exposing him talking about niggas, porch monkeys, and black bitches, this, that, and the third, that's a bad thing. He got exposed
That's
to
not a bad thing.
Yeah, because he got it fucking exposed.
Crazy, huh? Not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. A lot of niggas overlook that shit.
The great
Cool,
white
man.
rappers exposed for fucking calling us niggas, black bitches, and everything else. Like, that's not a bad thing. He got exposed. But it's the fact that he could rap his ass off and he was white and Dr. Dre produced him is what saved him.
How many mics did the Eminem show receive?
Probably gave him 2 mics. Because
Yo, Benzino, you see?
Yeah. I did that. I did that.
You were wrong. It's a hot album. You were wrong.
In retrospect, I'm saying.
Was it a hot album? The first was it?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Flip. I'm not an Eminem fan, bro. I'm not an Eminem fan. I'm not an Eminem fan.
It doesn't matter. You're not a fan. Was the album? The album was hot.
How many songs of that album was hot, bro? Like, listen, how many songs are you really replaying from that album right now, Flip? Come on, man. It's the fact that he was a white rapper and he could rap like that over Dre beats. But how many songs on that album really was banging in the hood? Like, come on, man. Like, if he was black, he'd be Cannabis and nobody would even give a fuck about the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be 100. We was more amazed that a white boy could rap like that. And I get it. But I'm saying...
Till I Collapse Without Me?
Stan was good.
Cleaning out my closet? Come on. What we talking
How
about?
many, okay. You know what? This is good. This is good. Let's go to the track. Listen to that song.
Let's go.
Let's go. That album. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm not. I want you, because I don't know. I never listened to a whole
White America.
All right, White America wasn't hot. We're not listening to that. What
White
else?
America. Okay.
But we're not listening to
Cleaning out my closet.
That was a good song.
Right? Good song. Okay.
Good song.
Square Dance.
Forget about it.
Soldier.
Forget about it.
So I like Soldier.
You like the Soldier?
I like Soldier.
Okay.
Soldier, right? No, that's the other one.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold it. Let's stop. Did you like Soldier? No.
That's the other Soldier. Pardon me. That's you and the Soldier. Okay.
Next. That's.
Come on, Square Dance. White boy. Square Dance. Come on now. No, see no now. Niggas don't fucking fuck to that shit, man. Fuck all you niggas fucking fake asses with this bullshit, man. Benzino's right, man. Even though he's a fucking cornball. I fuck with Benzino because Benzino's right on this one, man. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, Benzino was gangster as fuck back then, fucking with the main man. Even Pac fuck with them. You can't fucking you can't dismiss that fact. You know what I'm saying? That's cemented into history.
3. We're really not failing. Go ahead.
Hold on. I like Superman.
You liked it, Superman?
Yes. I like Without Me. I like Till I Collapse.
Till I Collapse, the beat is fine.
It's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
We had 5.
Go ahead. Keep going.
That's right.
Keep going.
I like Haley's song. What? What? You asked me.
I like the Haley song.
I have some questions.
Come on. Is it about this?
Come
The
on.
whole Eminem joint. Yeah.
He gotta take. I want you to get at him. Because you know what?
No. G, let me ask you, G.
I'm trying to get on G's side.
No, I'm asking because he's a DJ.
He likes you too much.
No, I'm asking he's a DJ.
Come here. He's slick. He like you.
I'm asking he's a DJ.
You're wrong. Accountability is the key.
No. This is where I was wrong.
You become hypocritical. You become hypocritical.
If there was wrong in other people's eyes that I could say, okay, I can understand, is the fact that I should have kept the magazine separate out of that. Yes.
Respect.
I should have did that.
I respect.
I should have kept the magazine out.
Definitely.
I should have understood that, okay, these kids see him and let them see him any way they want to, because I see him like that, although but look, I felt like it just wasn't all rapping. I still felt like hip hop. I felt like the context of what I was doing it in still had valid points, meaning, again, we didn't need a great white hope in hip hop to take away from what black people brought to the table. And that's what they used him for. MTV was letting him do shit that they would never let niggas do. And I just felt like, man, that's not fair, bro. It comes back to Boston. It comes back to doing shit like, shit don't be fair, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you white, why does it have to be like that? It's not fair.
Aren't you half white?
I don't know. I'm Puerto Rican and Cape Verdean. That's another misconception. That's another misconception. I'm Puerto Rican and Cape Verdean. Cape Verdean islands off of the coast of Africa.
I remember. I want to ask one question. I'm gonna let my man G.
White people love to say that, but you're half white. No, I'm not.
Yeah, we got G.
Benzino, Cape Verdean people are kind of white. I mean, Amber Rose is from Cape Verdean. He's Cape Verdean, so I don't know. But let's see.
How did Dave feel?
Dave was with me.
Dave tried to interview him, man. Stop it, man. Stop it, man.
Dave was with me.
Dave tried to interview him.
Dave understood.
And
Dave,
he was a double XL.
did you guys see our press conference after he? Okay, so let me ask y'all a question. After the racist tapes came out here, none of y'all gave a fuck about that?
Of course, I did. Yeah.
Did you really?
People talked about it. Yes.
Did you really?
Yes.
To what extent?
Don't question my moral compass. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's good. Don't question me. Don't question my morals. Don't question my morals.
Why does he get a pass for disrespecting black people? Why?
He doesn't get a pass.
And black women. Why? Oh, he got one. Oh, he got one.
How did he get a pass? He apologized for it.
Where did this man apologize? On Yellow Brick Road? You really took Yellow? How come that man wasn't man enough to call a press conference and talk to Black America? He's never done that. Well, like you took a song, and first of all, let's say this. Their excuse was, and let me tell you all this. Did you know that first he denied that it was him, then sued us in a federal court for copyright infringement because we was going to put the tape out, the whole Rap Race hour tape, and we can only put out 30 seconds. They ended up we won a major case.
If it was a mistake, you wouldn't hide your racism so hard, my boy. Don't lie. I feel
they had to pay for our lawyers and everybody. A lot of people don't know that. They lost. Jimmy Iovine and them lost that. Jimmy Iovine and them had three. When the white kids came, I was in Puerto Rico. And Dave called me. We got 3 white kids up here, and they got a cassette they've been trying to sell for the last year. I immediately flew up there. Oh, this is dope. We found out that the tape was made when M was 21, not 16. We went to the Maxell Corporation that made the cassette and had the serial number, found out when the tape was actually made. Like, we did our real Dateline investigation work. Found out he was from Missouri and not Detroit. I mean, his kids, his guys was giving him up. You know what I'm saying? They was mad because of the way they treated him, obviously. So Maddox and the other guy, one of them committed suicide. So, at the end of the day, regardless if he changed or whatever, this shit exists of him saying racist shit.
Okay.
So how he survived that? Well, first of all, it wasn't no internet. I'm sure if there was internet, it would have been different. But how he survived that was the same thing. He apologized. Really? Where the fuck did he apologize at? Oh, he apologized on Yellow Brick Road. That's an apology? So you could disrespect black people and make a song about it, and that's your apology, and black people's like, okay, everything's cool.
Would you have not forgiven him? Would you have forgave him if he apologized publicly the way you wanted? Everybody not gonna move the way you want.
No. It has nothing to do with forgiving. That's the manly thing to do.
Okay.
That's the manly thing to do. That like you are a major influence. You apologizing, these other white kids are gonna look at it, but that's why he did it. See, they're calculating. You gotta understand. Hip hop is a major influence on these little kids. Back in the day, Lil Johnny and Susie, they got black people on their walls, and that was a problem. That's a problem. Johnny and Susie can't have all these black kids on their walls when I walk in their room. Bill, something has to change. They couldn't have that. Hip hop's huge. We got to find a white guy so Johnny and Susie can put him on their wall. Doesn't even matter what he's talking about no more. Don't even matter. You talk about raping people, killing your mother. He talks about the worst shit, the shit that our culture ain't into. but that's okay too. We let that slide too because he's Eminem and he can rap.
So if you came in again,
we get so fucking brainwashed because a white guy could do something. This is us. This is years and years and years. It's true. It's true. We get so excited because a white guy could do something that black people do that they just take the rug straight from us. And then we're wondering why we're the odd men out all the fucking time, bro.
I don't think it's excited because he can do it.
What else is it?
He's a nice rapper. That's it. He can rap.
Well, why is he
can rap.
Why is he the number one selling rapper?
He can rap.
Is he the number one? I mean, should he be the number one selling rapper? Flip.
He can rap.
Should he be the number one selling rapper?
He can rap. Do you think he can rap?
He can put words together.
You said it yourself.
Masturbator and elevator.
Yeah.
But he's not. But that's not my type of rap.
Understood. When he did that record against you, people liked it. It was hot.
Of course it's gonna be. Of course, because
you don't think it was
because they looked at me as the bully. I didn't think so.
Benzino.
I didn't.
You keep it 100. You didn't think that was hot?
No.
I would never click.
I think.
I bet you know all the words.
I think Ether was one of the hottest diss records ever, and it's nowhere near Ether.
Ether is amazing, but what I'm saying is that you
nowhere near. Think about it.
You as a hip hop guy.
I'm be honest.
RSO deserves to be the source. You trying to tell me that the wordplay that he said in that song?
I wasn't impressed
because he was dissing you. That's why.
Fake Al Pacino. That's like something Benzino. Fake Al Pacino. That was like
that
right, but that wasn't so impressive.
But you act like you
not like what Nas did. That was impressive.
You're a good guy. You smart.
What Nas was?
You're a Nas fan, though. You're a Nas fan. I'm
a Jay fan too. I love Reasonable Doubt is top 10 album of all time in no order. Like, believe me. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Illmatic, top 10 album, no order. Like, I love both of them niggas. Okay. But I'm just saying, Nas's Ether of all the disses from everybody was that shit. Eminem shit don't stand up to that. Again.
Come on, man.
Does it?
I'm
asking you.
Don't ask me questions like that. Don't ask me a question.
I mean, how else can we gauge it?
We can gauge it by you being honest and say, yo, Flip, you know what? Even though he dissed me, the record, I can see why people like the record.
Nah.
He played with words. Nail in the coffin. He played with words.
Can't.
Mean Streets of Boston.
You can't at all.
See, again, you know, and again, he made parody of all the shit that was like, we was the mean streets of Boston. I was selling drugs. I was a gangster. I was doing all these things. So when you try to make parodies out of it, it don't connect because everything you making parodies of, I was. So if that was like, if when you diss somebody, it has to hold weight that whatever you dissing them for has to go against their record. Okay. Nothing that he said was true and went against my record. I was everything he tried to say I wasn't in that rap, so it didn't hurt me.
I thought the double entendre was good, but he said that it throw you over the balcony and you'll be all over the street. That was fire.
But he would never do that.
No, it's not about that. Yo, OG, you bugging.
Real talk.
That's fine. You be all over the streets like 50 Cent. That wasn't hot. That wasn't a play on words. You can really say, yo, Flip, you know what, Flip?
I get more excited when somebody disses somebody. I get more excited when somebody disses somebody and I'm looking at them that they could do it to them niggas. Like, I'm more excited about, like, I don't, like, somebody just, like, put a word together, but you ain't that. I don't, bro. It just doesn't make me like when I know that you're not capable of doing what you're saying. I'm not really looking at you like that, and that's how I looked at it.
All right, so speaking about that right now, what if there's a rapper that was black that was talking about what he doesn't do it? You know, we know a lot of artists that don't.
I said, phony and fake pussy stand and still whoop your ass. You're 36 in the karate class. Stop, old hoe. Try to work it out. You try to get brolic. Ask me if I'm trying to kick knowledge. Nah. Trying to kick the shit. You need to learn though. Ether. Shit to make the soul burn slow. Ooh. Stuck it to the niggas. Ho! I mean, you can't do that. Sorry.
We live our life. How do you gauge that now?
That's what I'm saying. Like, give me somebody in particular because it's the same thing. Like
I'm saying, all right. So back in that time, right, when he came out, let's say it wasn't Eminem, but it was a black rapper that you knew, and you know their story, and they like.
I would have took it much more. And I knew he was about that street life, or I'd have took it much more.
No. I say if there's a black artist that's rapping about stuff that did not really live in that life.
I look at them the same way.
Same way.
Same fucking way.
First of all, Eminem
worse,
received
bro,
4
worse.
mics. Let me just say that it wasn't 2, Ben. See, it received 4. Not 2.
It got 4.
Yeah,
I would have gave it 2.
Oh my God!
He did pretty good.
Hey, yo, hold on. I ain't gonna lie.
What the fuck is he complaining for then if he got 4 mics?
You're a hip hop guy. He's a hip hop guy. He mean to tell me that regardless of this, like when you listen to Beans and Jadakiss, they can say, "Yo, yeah, fire."
Good battle.
Jada will say, "Yo, you mean to tell me that?" When we heard, when I heard, I'm like,
I don't think Beans or Jadakiss's disses stacked up to Ether.
Stop going there.
I'm just giving you.
We talking about acknowledging good wordplay.
No, but we talking about diss records, and that's why I'm saying when people say to nail the coffin affect me, I swear to God, it didn't affect me not once.
I'm not saying affect me. Actually, did you like any? Did you say it was good wordplay?
Nope.
At all.
At all.
Claim to be no Ray Benzino? Oh.
No. I was that nigga.
Facts. Facts.
You know.
Facts. No. We didn't take that from you.
No. That's what I'm saying, but that's why I probably didn't feel it because everything he said, again, it just wasn't sticking because he was like it sounded like a mad kid who was mad, but everything he said.
So you thought it was a mockery record?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you saying that I didn't think
that's how he does a lot of his music though.
Hold up. Is it me or does Benzino's arms look longer, man? That nigga's got his arms stretched out, man. Because I remember that nigga had them small ass arms or something. I don't know, man. It's just me. I don't look like he got longer arms now, man. I don't know.
I'm Slim Shady. I don't listen to that shit. I didn't grow up on that shit. That just wasn't me. Bro, you listen to Slim. I'm Slim Shady. You really bang
record. I did.
I like some Eminem songs.
Yeah.
My nigga, I just don't bang.
No Eminem record.
Stand, Closet, Lose Yourself.
Okay.
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? He had a couple of joints where I could, but the majority of, let's take the last 2 albums. That shit, that garbage you tell me was fucking from the greatest rap of all time, them last 2 albums, then I made a point to listen to them songs. Let me give y'all a good thing right here. Royce the 5'9".
That's my man. That's my man.
That's fine. That's me and Royce. Listen. Royce is M's man, but let me give you something right now about Royce. When Royce did Bad versus Evil with M, right? Their first week was about 600,000 units sold. Did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Royce came out with an album 6 weeks later, solo. His first week, 18,000 units. That means that 480,000 white people said, fuck you, Royce. We're only fucking with you when you fuck with him.
Crazy.
I mean, give me another reason why he only did 6 weeks later, after coming behind Bad versus Meets Evil, whatever that was. Why did Royce's album didn't do anything?
You don't think
we know Royce got wordplay. Why didn't his album, after coming right off that selling gold the first week, do 18,000 units? Can somebody give me a reason?
You don't think some artists have that weight? Like they say after Future and Drake album, collab album, Future went downhill after that. That's what they said.
Bro. 480,000 white people did not fuck with Royce.
What's up with all this white people?
What you mean? We live. This is the world we live in. I didn't put it that way. I didn't make it that way. This is the motherfucking world we live in. That's a fact. Listen, look it. Flip. This is the reason why I did what I did, because I made it a point to show that white America was fucking with black people before the great white rapper came, and it was fucking with our culture. Once he came, a lot of them white people don't have to fuck with us, and they don't have to invest in us. Now, people who don't even listen to rap will just fuck with Eminem just because he's white, and that's the problem.
So So what made you rock with Dave then? Because he took the hip hop culture and
Dave
he didn't come from it either though.
Dave
came from it.
Dave came from DC and grew up around blacks. And Dave never ever gave me the vibe that he was against. Again, I pick up on that. Matter of fact, I'm a great gauge. For me to fuck with Dave shows you that Dave was one of the had to have something with him, because I didn't have any, like, I wasn't hanging with white people.
Or you just a smart businessman that saw an opportunity.
No, because there was no money. The fuck, I was making more money. Like, I had more money than Dave. Dave didn't even have a fucking car.
So how'd you gauge Eminem is like this guy?
Huh?
How'd you see Eminem could be that racist type of guy that you know?
It don't make sense where it derived from.
Because you didn't meet him.
He made a whole tape called The Rap Racist Hour.
You didn't know that.
Before that.
I told you, but remember I told you I could tell somebody.
But you didn't meet him yet, though, right?
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Did you meet him yet, though?
I no, we never met ever.
Okay, so you heard the music.
I had 3 meetings with Jimmy Iovine. And this is what I told Jimmy. The first meeting, I brought my father. Because everybody talked about Jimmy and the mob. I was like, really? Let me bring my dad just in case, so I can get, you start trying to bring that mob shit up. Let me bring Schnapps. Me, Dave, and Schnapps went to. He was like, look, why do you gotta? I gave him my theory about white people in hip hop. He says, why do you gotta save the world? I said, look, I won't put the racist tape out. He offered me a record company for me and the Source. He offered me a deal, and the Source magazine a deal on the school if we didn't put the tape out. And I said, well, I consider it if I could sit in a room with them. I said, because it'll be big for hip hop. I said, these white kids will see. I said, he has an influence on white people. Maybe he doesn't even understand. I said, but because of that, if there's a dialogue with me and him, then I think that'll be great for hip hop. He's like, Marshall will never sit in a room with you. Marshall. I said, well, I'm going to put the fucking thing. I said, I don't need your record deal. He called me for another meeting. 3 meetings, he tried to sell me this deal thing. And then I said, no bet. And that's when, then they sued us to try to prolong it. And then I put it out. Because, again, my theory was, I come from Boston, and I just felt like what MTV and everybody's doing is taking this kid and they're putting him up on a pedestal. It's the same thing what they did with Elvis. Everything they do, they come, they rob us of our shit, and then they don't give us the same type of treatment like they do. And I just felt like hip hop was the last thing. Hip hop could, the guy that come out of jail can get a job from hip hop and get a check. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is ours, and we need to fucking preserve it. Once he came, that was it, and that's all I was fighting against. It was bigger than just rap with me.
So it wasn't because he didn't do an interview. I honestly say that.
I'm be honest. I don't even remember that shit. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Let's go back to Royce. Royce believes in fights for our people. Do you have respect for Royce and what he does?
Well, when you say fights, what? Give me an example, because I don't know. I don't know of any.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know of any. Give me an example. You tell me.
First and foremost, slow down. I love people who go to bullshit. You pay attention.
No, tell me. I don't know what he fights for our people. I mean, you gotta tell me.
I mean, he's out there promoting the black struggle, promoting.
What was this?
Flip is full of shit. You know damn well that ain't happening. You just trying to egg him on.
You don't see his Instagram?
No.
We're talking about uplifting black.
How long? Okay, so for how long has he been doing this?
Allow me to answer.
Okay.
Allow me to answer.
Okay.
He's uplifting all black people, black women, black men. He's against injustice against black people. He's on the front lines. Royce the 5'9".
How long has he been doing this on the front line?
I don't know. Don't ask those type of questions. That's schematical. I don't understand. But now I'm telling you that Royce the 5'9" is doing it, and you are for the people. So wouldn't you acknowledge and say, you know what, that's a good thing he's doing?
Of course. Now that you're telling me, of course. I didn't know. Of course.
Yeah. Oh, because you were still stuck on the Hip Hop Weekly thing.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It's just that there isn't nothing that he's done that has probably taken that bigger on to where is that I don't know. He might be doing shit on his Instagram. I don't follow his Instagram, but I didn't know he was a champion for black people. I didn't know that. And I'm asking you how long, and you saying, well, I don't know either. You know what I'm saying?
No, since I've been following him.
What, a couple of years? What?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, yeah, it does matter because
Even though it's sort of a couple of years, who
it
said
does,
he wasn't
you know why it does
Hold on,
matter? Because I've been championing black people for a long time.
No, I've heard that, but who said? But now somebody, a fellow person who you had an issue with.
I never had an issue with.
I mean, whatever, Hip Hop Weekly. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The Slaughterhouse.
I never had an issue. The issue is because of the Eminem thing, obviously, but I never had an issue personally with him.
What about the Slaughterhouse situation?
The Slaughterhouse came from the Eminem thing. The M's group.
What I'm saying is that you, as a person, have been fighting with people. Look how it's contradictory or whatever.
How?
You, as a person who's been fighting for black people who attacked a white man in the early 2000s, and before that, you've been doing that.
Yes, sir.
I just told you that Royce the Five Nine, a guy who this.
Salute to Royston if he's doing that, because I didn't know.
So is it really?
I didn't know. Salute to Royce. Salute to Royce. If he's champion, listen. Anybody champion the fight, salute to them. All right. I mean, I'm sure Royce can see where obsessed, racist Eminem fans. You know, I'm sure he could pick those out because there are some out there. I mean, we can agree that the majority of his fans don't fuck with niggas. We can agree with that. You know, it's a very small pocket of white fans that probably do fuck with black culture. But the majority of Eminem fans right now, as it stands, are probably the same motherfuckers who vote for Trump. Simple as that. And they only fuck with him because he's white. Bro, like, how could you, who else is fucking with this nigga? Like, nobody in no hood of America is banging Eminem, bro. No, in no hoods that I go around, bro, is banging Eminem, bro.
What's the guy that's I mean, who do we have up here for the same way? Wait, hold on. Don't say nothing about what? About Eminem. I had the same conversation. He used to be on Vlad. Lord Jamar.
Lord Jamar just apologized for him. Listen, man. Lord Jamar.
You were nice on 105 when you did the interview.
Listen.
Whoa. I saw it. I can't find it now.
I'm gonna be honest. Like Dave told me, look, we got to get back in good graces. So I went up there and did my I was disappointed in myself because I'm gonna say it right now. Flip the script. I did not mean that apology at all, and I did that just because we was trying to patch shit up with MTV and BET, but it was fuck him then and fuck him now.
Come on. How dare you? What are you teaching the youth? What are you teaching the youth? To go up there and tap dance because a white man, which is your man,
I'm trying to clean that up now. Huh? I definitely went up there to try to because we were so blacklisted. I went up there and tried to patch things up because it was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what I said. I said, look, I apologize to anybody out there if they felt that I was being racist. That's what I said. I said Eminem is white and he has white fans and he should be able to rap because hip hop is about all diversity, and I mean that in a sense. But my personal feeling about the guy, ever since the Rap Racist Hour and ever since him always screaming and trying to be tough and all that, I'm not for that.
Well, you can't blame a man for feeling that way, you know what I'm saying? Straight up and down, all the way around, man. See, a lot of what our people do and other people, they try to pass it off like, it ain't nothing, man. Get it over it, man. You know what I'm saying? We in 2020 and all this bullshit. Yo, let me tell you something, man. The laws that are passed were passed during slavery days. So they're still thinking when those laws were passed. They still got the traditions and everything passed down because of those situations, you know? So why do y'all think that it should be any different? There's nothing different, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing different. They know exactly what they're doing. They ain't wasting their time trying to get it done, you know?
You're ready to relax and find peace, but your calm meditation guide stops when the screen locks. Get YouTube Premium with background.
Why should we even acknowledge the fact that these people just trying to, demean us, they demoralize us, you know?
I mean, Eminem is diamond. He has the most records sold ever. Elvis probably has the most rock records sold ever. But you already know where it all started. I'm gonna let y'all know like this, man. All this shit is real, man. There's no fiction towards it. When I talk to you guys about culture, about Vultures, what it is, it's basically somebody that's in the game trying to take from it more than they give to it, you know? So when you talk about Vlad TV, he's one of the culture vultures that we have here, you know what I'm saying? And it's dangerous. He's one of the dangerous ones because he's actually giving information to the feds. So that's kind of something that needs to be looked at. But we're gonna see that. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna be revealed, man. You gotta see that a lot that needs to be said too. So let's go ahead and listen to this brother. He's talking about Vlad TV. And what he did. Because he was a former journalist for this guy. A man named Michael Hughes. So let's listen to what this brother had to say about Black because he once worked for him. And on top of that, his personal practices, not his political views, but just the way he is as a man. We'll determine if he's racist or not. All right, let's get it in.
Pleasure. So have you seen all the drama going around the internet about Vlad TV and Minister Farrakhan? Yeah, definitely have. Based off of your past experience, how do you feel about various celebrities backing away from supporting Vlad? To be honest, for me, it just feels like it's long overdue. The things that people are saying about Vlad now are things that people have pretty much known and said in one way or another in the past. I mean, if you check out any of his YouTube videos and you scroll the comments, you'll see people saying the type of stuff that they're saying now about him in one way or another. You know, maybe they might focus more on the whole Officer Vlad thing because he asks people about their criminal past and things that potentially get someone, you know, caught up in a legal situation, whatever. But to me, it's long overdue. And how long did you work for Vlad? A little over 3 years. I believe I started working for Vlad at the tail end of 2011. And I ended up leaving, I think it was like mid to late February of 2015. It was definitely 2015. All right, and what was it like working for him? Working for Vlad. In a nutshell, I mean, like the job itself, it wasn't, you know, it was an okay job. I mean, what you're doing, you're blogging, you're writing articles. For me, I elevated myself during my time there to the point where I was able to do interviews with various artists, whether it be battle rap or just a general celebrity that came into the office or somewhere overseas, and I had to do it over the phone. But if you weren't doing interviews like I was doing, you were in the office, you were, you know, writing articles, you were editing videos, you were managing the website. So, I mean, it was an okay job in terms of the job itself. However, specifically working for Vlad made the job so unenjoyable. You were anxious pretty much every single day that you walked into the office. You always felt like a sense of like tension and just like kind of discomfort just because of the simple fact that Vlad was your boss. Vlad was a dude who functioned, his MO was to operate based on fear. I wouldn't even say respect because he didn't really ever show respect for his employees. It was more so just fear me and fear the fact that I can replace you tomorrow if I want to. That was his thing. He used to tell us blatantly up front, like, yo, guys, I can fire you today and find 10 more versions of you tomorrow, you know, because he felt so strongly that Vlad TV was such a huge entity, a huge brand that all the people in the world would just jump at the opportunity to work for Vlad. But little did people know that on the inside, it wasn't as it seems. It was a little smoke and mirror type of things. Vlad used to pride himself on how cool the job was. He always used to talk about, yo, this job, you're literally like verbatim. He'd be like, this job, you're just doing cool shit all the time. Like, you're just doing cool shit. Like, you're involved in the celebrity world. You know, you get to interview celebrities. You have the chance to go to red carpet and special events. You know what I'm saying? You get the inside scoop on all the drama that's going on. Like, this job, you're just doing such cool shit. Like, what other job can you do such cool shit? He was always saying the words cool shit in reference to working for Vlad. But like I said, at the end of the day, Vlad himself, best way I could describe him, he was a tyrant, swindler, cheap as hell when it comes to proper compensation. And he just, in my opinion, and honestly, you could ask pretty much anyone who used to work for him. I don't know what the team is today. I think all the OGs that I worked with, I think they're out the door by now. But if you ask any of them, he pretty much just lacked that human connection, that human element, that empathy and just general just connection, the ability to connect with people as people rather than like, okay, how much money can you make me? What can you do for me? Yeah, man, he was just kind of a cold person. And that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I think that's the most accurate way to describe him. That was a lot right there. How about this? Let's backtrack a little bit. When did you start working for Vlad TV and how did you come on board? All right. How did I start working at Vlad? My boy that I went to college with, St. John's, my boy Dame, he used to work for him as in, this is one of the swindles Vlad would do to get, you know, people to do free work for him. You're an intern, you know. So Dame would be like, I remember it would be like a Friday, Saturday night, and we're trying to like go to, you know, a club or a lounge or a bar or something or just chill, whatever. And we had to wait for Dame. He'd be on the laptop. Yo, give me 30 minutes, y'all. I'm almost done. And he used to work for another company that Vlad had. I don't know if he still does. Like I said, I don't keep tabs on his stuff. But it was a company called Sneaker Watch, website. And so Dame was a writer. And he elevated to becoming like the content manager, digital content manager, something like that, like a prestigious title within Vlad TV. And he knew that after college, I needed a job. I also, to be honest, I had just gotten out of a serious legal situation that almost resulted in me like getting some serious consequences. But thank the Lord, I fought that case down for like a year and a half, and I managed to fight it down to a point where I still have like certain freedoms that other people get, you know, smacked with that big F wouldn't have. So, but because even though I fought it down, it still was a nice stain on my resume. So anytime I would go for an interview at, you know, whatever company, stuff like that, they would always be like, yo, you know, you seem like you'll be such a good addition to the team, blah, 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 blah. I can't wait to bring you on board. We're going to do a background check. And once I would hear those words, background check, I was just like, oh, man. So long story short, I wasn't getting hired anywhere because of the background check. And he knew I could write. And he just said, yo, bro, you want to try to, you know, start working as a blogger at Vlad TV? And I said, sure. And that was it. He brought me in to meet with the manager, the supervisor at the time. His name was Sonny. And they had me do a writing sample, and the rest was history. Okay, cool. So what was the pay like when you started at Vlad TV? I know you said that Vlad, one of the ways you described him was that he's cheap. Oh man, the pay at Vlad was pure, utter trash. Basura, whatever other lingo. I only know that like one word for Spanish. My Spanish is trash. And my Spanish is as trash as the pay was at Vlad TV. My first year there, I didn't meet Vlad for, I think it was the first 1 or 2 weeks there. He was like on the West Coast doing something. He came back. He had a meeting the very first, and I remember he walked in the room. The first time I saw him walk into the room and I met him in person, he has like this aura about him. It's like, it's a silent aggression in terms of like, I'm the boss. He walks in the room like, y'all gonna not even respect me. Y'all gonna fear me like I'm the boss. Like he comes in like, and it's like, you could feel like a hostile kind of energy. Like I said, fear impact, or the fear tactic. So he comes in and he wants us all to have a meeting. And in the meeting, he wants us to start talking about, ways to expand the brand and broaden the audience attention and stuff like that. So I'm listening to everyone go around the room, and everyone, like, he didn't tell people we were going to have a meeting. It was just kind of like, wait, what? So everyone's making up all these BS little, like, oh, I think you could enhance the titles and the spelling. Like, they're trying to just say things to make him be okay with them giving some feedback, because they ultimately no one wanted to get him pissed off. So he comes to me, and like, I'm thinking, all right, this is a hip hop website. I've been a battle rap fan since I was in high school. Out in college, I watched battle rap crazy. Like, I would literally stay up all night till like 7 a.m. The sun's rising, and I'm just battle after battle after battle. Grind Time Smack, Grind Time Fell, KOTD, all that stuff. So for me, I was just like, it was a battle rap. I said that instantly. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, we could potentially, there's a whole bunch of battlers out there. Maybe we could bring them in for some interviews, shed some light on their lives, and cover some battle events, stuff like that. But Vlad, he instantly was like, all right, battle rap, let's do battles. And I was like, all right, we could try that. But after the meeting, I'm gonna slow it down. After the meeting, we sat, I think it was in like the hallway or something like that. And he just basically broke it down. He's like, you know what, your job is going to be, and he said, I'm starting you out with your salary, because he considered it a weekly salary. My base pay when I started was $200 per week. Hold up, bro. You've got to be trolling me right now. There's no way you're serious. You only got paid $200 per week for your first year at Vlad TV. Yeah, my starting salary at Vlad TV was a whopping $200 per week. The money at Vlad for the first 2 years there was pure trash. $200 for the week. And that was for a full Monday through Sunday, 7-day working. But hold up, bro. What do you mean 7 days? I mean exactly that. 7 days. He had us working Monday through Sunday, 7 days, 365 days a year, not a single day off. He didn't care if it was Christmas, if it was I don't really like to say Thanksgiving. I say Native American Awareness Day. But Thanksgiving, the old school Independence Day, people were really woke on Juneteenth back then. July 4th, Independence Day. You'd be sitting there at the cookout with your laptop, blogging, you know what I'm saying? Christmas, your family's opening gifts, drinking eggnog, and, I don't know, watching Christmas carols, whatever people do. And you're sitting there with your laptop blogging, you writing articles. If you weren't working physically in the office, you had to work from home. There was literally no days off at Vlad TV for the first 2 years I was there. Time out, bro. I'm sorry, but that honestly sounds like kind of hard to believe and unrealistic. There's no way that he could actually make you work Monday through Sunday, 7 days per week for 2 years straight. You would think so. You would think that that's unrealistic, that that's something that a person could not do or could not get away with. But yes, Vlad had us work every single day, Monday through Sunday, for 2 years straight that I was there. Everyone that was there before I got there had been doing that for however long they were at the company. Everyone else has been doing that for years. For me, it was 2 years. Thank the Lord it wasn't longer. That sounds like a crazy work schedule right there, but at least you must have been racking up some heavy overtime. Overtime? Yo, bro, there was no such thing as OT at Vlad TV. There was no PTO, there was no OT, there was nothing. And to be real with you, we weren't even listed as official employees while we worked there. Wait, what do you mean by that? I mean exactly that, bro. We were not listed as full-time employees. We were not listed as part-time employees. We were listed as independent contractors. That is one of Vlad's swindles that he pulled to basically avoid, having to come out of pocket and pay money on taxes and stuff like that for the employees, potentially set us up with medical insurance that have to pay a portion of this and that. He did it for his own financial benefit and our financial downfall. We had to come into the office, like I said, 7 days per week and work for whatever that salary pay was, and we had to pay our own taxes at the end of the year, come tax time or the following year, whatever. And everyone in that office had to pay bank. He always used to say, "Oh, write off your home as the home office, and write off your rent and all these write-offs and stuff." But no matter what you wrote off, we had to pay bank. My first year there, I made, I don't remember specifically, it was like between 12 and like 15,000 for 7 days a week of work. And I had to pay back it was something like between $2,700 and like $3,700 in taxes. Crazy. My second year there, I made, I think it was under 30K, because he gave me like a few raises on my weekly salary up to like $300 a week and then $350 a week and stuff like that. And so my second year there, I made under 30. It was like 29,000 or something like that, and I had to pay like 5 racks or 5+ on taxes. It was crazy. Vlad used to swindle heavy, man, and the way that he finessed it in his eyes was, and the way that he argued to us, because we complained about this stuff, Vlad, we need to be full time, blah 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 blah. But he finessed it where he was like, well, look, you guys don't work 40 hours a week, because he had us coming in at 11 a.m. On Monday through Friday until 5 p.m. 11 to 5 Monday through Friday. So that's a 30-hour work week. But regardless, independent contractors, that's for periodic blocks of work. I'm gonna pay you for this and pay for this. But when you're putting people on a schedule, a set schedule, no matter if it's full-time 40 hours or if it's less than that, part-time, regardless, they are your employees. You know what I'm saying? They're your employees. So he was swindling heavily with that. But then also, let me tell you how it went down when it came to my weekends. So 2012, my first year, Vlad, I was fighting in the Golden Gloves, and that's the year that I won the Golden Gloves. And that year was crazy for me. From like January until the end of March, early April, whenever the finals was, I was working and training like a savage. When I tell you, I would wait Monday through Friday, do the blog stuff at the job. And the thing is also, we often stayed late in the office. It wasn't like we would just clock out at 5 p.m. Nah, we would stay until 5:30, 6:30, writing little articles, editing, whatever the case is. But Monday through Friday, I was in the office 11 to 5, then or a little later. And then I would, go to my gym, work out 3, 4, 5 hours. I was training like a savage. My weekends were crazy because Vlad paid me trash. I had to have another form of income. So I worked as an off-Broadway theater, either working as an usher, a bartender, or sometimes the assistant house manager would be out and they would sub me in. So I'll be an assistant house manager as well. But the most I did was bartending. So on my Saturdays, I would wake up in the morning and I would blog, get right to it, typing up 2, 3 hours. Then I would go to the off-Broadway theater, work a bartending shift, the matinee show. From there, I'll go back to the crib. I'll maybe blog like another hour or so, hour and a half. Then I would grab my boxing gear. I would run always. I would run about like 2.5 miles downtown to my gym, train 2, 3 hours. Boom, I would run back home. I would probably blog for like another 30 minutes, and then I would go and do the evening off-Broadway shift, do another bartending shift, work that. Then I would leave, go back home, and then I would usually blog for another 1 to 2 hours. And then that was it. And then by the time the night came, I was dumb tired. People, Mike, come out. I ain't got no energy, bro. My Sundays, same thing, except we didn't have the evening shift for the play. So Sunday morning, wake up, anywhere from 1 to 3 hours, something like that, blogging, go do my little matinee shift at the off-Broadway theater, and then right after that, I'll come back home, another 2 to 3 hours. So ultimately, with the full 7, the weekends, everyone was always clocking 40 plus hours. But again, he swindled and he had us listed as independent contractors, and financially, everyone was struggling. Everyone was hurt at that job. But for me, like, that was my first, like, legit job. You know what I'm saying? I had one before that, but, like, that was the first with, like, as, like, a company, media, stuff like that. I didn't have, like, a reference for, like, self-values, my own individual worth. I also felt, like I said, with the legal thing, I was kind of, like, trapped. Like, damn, they're not background checking me, so I kind of need to stay here. You know, it was just a whole bunch of stuff. And a lot of other people there were just, you know, trying to make it work. They were trying to use this to maybe transition into something bigger. But yeah, we put up with a lot at Vlad TV, a lot. Well, did Vlad offer any type of incentives on top of the base pay? Yeah, he did. So pretty much the way that Vlad finessed being able to get away with paying us such a ridiculously low base pay salary was his bonus system. So pretty much what he did was it served to simultaneously calm everyone's nerves and anxiety of, you know, I'm getting paid trash, I'm not making any money here. You know, it calmed everyone from wanting to revolt against him or just lack the motivation to get the work done and produce views for him. So that was one part of it. But then also it was a motivating factor to, hey, if I hit this X amount of number of views, I can add more money to my check. So my check might start for $200, but if I get high views, I could get more money. But you have to remember, if for Vlad to be able to because he could have for a lot of other things given us more income, but if for Vlad to consider breaking off any type of bonus, he had to be making a ton more than whatever the flat rate fee was that he was paying us on top of the article. So yeah, so like I said, my base pay started out at $200 a week, but I did have an opportunity to earn more. After the 2 weeks were up, I could potentially earn however much money I was able to earn in that pay period. You have to remember, one of the rough parts about that is when you start off any new job, everyone goes through this. I don't care how qualified you are, whatever. It takes you some time to learn the system of whatever that job is, whether it's, you know, making coffee, and you learn the best way to, you know, put the filter in the pot, and you just have to learn like efficiency for whatever it is, the task that you're doing. So for me, jumping into Vlad TV, and mind you, I knew how to write. I was, you know, I'm not going to brag, I'm a crazy good writer, but I was, you know, decent enough to get the job. But aside from writing, I had never taken a single journalism class before in my life. Like, technically speaking, if I had to submit a resume, I would not get hired because I had no credentials to warrant me getting a journalism job. I just knew how to write. Never took a class in college, anything. So I had to really learn the system. Also, I never visited Vlad TV before working there. I didn't visit, honestly, any of the gossip, hip hop, pop culture, whatever type of websites before my life. That's just not stuff that I like to bring into my vision. That's not the type of things that I want to, you know, the thoughts and images that I want to produce inside my own mind. After leaving Vlad, I don't visit any of those websites anymore because it pollutes your mind. You're always reading about gossip and drama, and it's kind of just overall negativity. So to protect my energy, I don't really focus on that stuff. Because I never focused on it before, I didn't really know how to work that type of system, talking about drama this, drama that, drama this, drama that. I didn't know about, you know, hip hop, media, gossip type of writing. I didn't know. So, and also, again, I was the newcomer writer. You have the other two senior writers working for Vlad TV, and then they had 2 or 3 writers working for Sneaker Watch. The senior writers, when posts would get article topics would get posted in the beginning of the day, like the high profile, you know, the ones that potentially could produce the most views, the senior writers would pick those up, and I would be left with, you know, getting those little like middle to low tier articles that ain't gonna produce, you know, type of bonus money. So I had to really take time to figure out how to work the system in order to actually benefit from the bonus system. So My checks, flat rate, 200 a week, 400 bi-weekly when we would get paid bi-weekly. My checks might be 450, 550, maybe 575. Like $600 was like a big check for me for 2 weeks. Remember, 2 weeks, 7 days work per week. That was a big check, and I don't even remember that happening that often. My first year there, my checks were like 4 to like 550. I was struggling. Man, that is crazy. I'm really sorry that you guys all went through that. Did the money ever pick up for you, or did it always just remain as minimum pay? Well, the money did eventually pick up by the third year. Like I said, he gave me a few little raises to my base pay and my salary and stuff like that. Battle Act also helped me earn a lot more money at Vlad TV, but I'll explain that later. But the real reason that the money kind of picked up, well, for me, I hustled. I worked hard, and I produced numbers. I was the highest viewed blogger at Vlad TV. But ultimately, by the third year, one of the OG camera women that was there, her name was Janima, she got like wrongfully fired. Vlad, like I said, he used to always talk about how expendable we are, et cetera, et cetera. And he always made us feel insecure about, you might not have this job tomorrow. If it was like an official company, and when I say company, a lot of times when I'm referencing Vlad, I like subconsciously do this air quotes, because my recollection of what it was to work there, it wasn't a company. It was just this greedy, rich dude who just wanted to become richer at the expense of his little peasant workers, and he would just walk over, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't have a company structure or feel. He never made you feel like you actually were valued. He made you feel like he was using you to get richer. But I saw him, he fired this camera woman named Janima, and she got fed up the BS, and she was pissed off. So she filed, I don't know if she filed something. She reported him, long story short, to the IRS. And because Vlad was paranoid about, potentially getting audited for having full-time employees doing slave work, he just came in one day like, hey guys, I'm gonna have a meeting. We have a meeting. So we're gonna switch you guys over to full-time employees. I was talking to well, I'm not gonna say her name. But his wife was human resources. His wife was HR, which you just think about that. His wife was human resources, was HR. That alone is a little, that's shaky, but whatever. But he was like, yeah, I was talking to the wife, and we're gonna switch you guys over to full-time employees. So you guys, won't have to worry about paying taxes on your own. We'll take care of that on each payment. And but then he also, with that, he kind of got really serious about making sure that everyone worked a full 40 hours. So then he set up this clock in, clock out system at the office, which was ridiculous, because I was like, yo, bro, like, all right, so we'll work 9 to 5. But he was like, serious, like, yo, you're coming in at 9:02, you're clocking in at 9:03, like, bruh, you had me work 7 days per week for 2 years. You're clocking in at 9:15, you're clocking in at 9:00. Who cares? Who cares? You're not paying me hourly pay. You're paying me a salary. So if I come in at the window with this and this, it don't matter. I'm not coming in at 11 o'clock no more, and I'm always staying late. I'm always in the office. I'm not leaving at 5. I'm staying until 6:30, because I was passionate about putting in my effort to write in proper articles, to making sure that I gave you the best interviews. You know what I'm saying? That I broke this story, that I produced numbers. Like, ain't nobody was tripping over making sure we give you 40. Before it was about 40 hours, we always gave that man over 40. You feel me? And that used to get me tight, because he was really trying to micromanage and clock people. You got just 9 to 5, clock in, clock out. And then the thing was, his cheap ass, he would only compensate OT for like, I don't know, up to like 42, 43 hours. He barely gave you any OT. So if you stayed late, he would only, if you stayed late for 4 hours, he may give you OT for 2. Like, he might give you like 2 or 3 hours of OT per week, and he don't compensate you beyond that. Facts. You can try to argue that as facts. When it came to I'm gonna go into how I got into battle rap. But when it came to my battle rap events, he said, yo, all right, so I'll pay you XYZ per hour. Cool, salute, thanks, appreciate it. When he started to see how much he had to pay me at those events, because the battle rap events weren't run with a strict schedule, so you end up staying there for 10, 12, 13 hours in an event. He was like, yo, hold up, this is too much money. Even though I'm producing crazy media interview content, he eventually told me, he's like, yo, bro, he never called me bro. He was like, yo, Mike, I'm only gonna compensate you for 3 hours. So if your event is 12 hours, he literally used to say, like, just try to line people up and just get interviews back to back to back. You get in and out within 3 hours. He said, if you want to stay for the entire, I told him, I was, yo, Vlad, like, that's not how battle rap events work. Like, you got to watch the battle, have content to talk about. So you got to be there for the whole time. He's like, cool, well, I'm only going to pay for 3 hours. So if the event is 12 hours, you're getting compensated for 3. That's the type of person he was. He was wild cheap. Wild cheap. Wild cheap. And yeah, man, it's like upsetting to just think back at like how undervalued and underappreciated we all were. He was so cheap. God damn, he was so cheap. So cheap. And for the record, when Vlad initially tried to switch us over to full-time employees, finally, after we'd already been there for 2 years, he actually had the nerve to try to imprison us within the company and make it so that we could not work for any other relative media company in the same type of field if we ever decided to leave Vlad TV by choice or otherwise, by having us sign a non-compete clause that would have lasted for something like up to like 2 to 3 years after we left the company. Like, that was ridiculous. So he literally tried to like offer a contract. Everyone signed this contract, and that, you know, binds the full-time employee, you know, agreement right now with this non-compete clause for up to 2 to 3 years. That's going to stay active for up to 2 to 3 years until after you leave Vlad TV. So we literally all looked at this like, this dude's got to be bugging right now. There's no way he could be serious. You mean to tell us that in a job where you offer absolutely zero job security, you have the nerve to tell us that the experience that we can put on a resume that we're going to acquire over the time that we've worked in this office, the only relevant experience we could apply it towards is another job in another company in the same field? And you mean to tell us that after having us work like slaves for 2 years, getting drastically underpaid, written off as independent contractors, being destroyed by taxes every single year, to finally be having to sign a contract, ridiculous, to sign a contract to finally be put as full-time employees, you're going to buy.
See the white people from Russia, the Russians, like Vlad, they're what you call it, Slav people, you know? Slav meant slaves, so they're white slaves to the British. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just crazy. And he wants to come around and perpetuate the same slave master tactics on us over here in America. Mind you, he's not just doing it in normal American society. He's doing it in a black space, which is hip hop. I'm not giving a fuck. On top of that, sending information to the police. Or if you don't send it, you facilitate them knowing certain situations by what he writes in his titles, the way he conducts his interviews, everything like that. So that's some cold ass shit now. You gotta get up on this shit. You can't be black and slack. You're gonna see it for what it is. Probably not looking, gonna come off like it's a cancer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Bind us and imprison us within the company for 2 to 3 years after that. So that, again, you tell us every single day, or you used to tell us every single day, you can lose your job tomorrow. So with no security, we're actually going to sign a non-compete clause that extends for 2 to 3 years past the time we leave. My man was all the way tripping. And for the record, of course, hell no, we did not sign that. We, pretty much just all united and took a stand. And he was like, all right, y'all got it. Y'all don't got to sign it. My man was tripping. All right, so what was your ending salary at Vlad TV? My ending salary at Vlad was, I believe it was $550 per week. Maybe at max it was $600, but I don't even think it was $600. I think it was $550 per week. But what I did with battle rap, so let me backtrack how I got into battle rap. He initially wanted to, instead of like get into like the media of interviewing people, he wanted to host battles. But being how Vlad is with the cheapness, Vlad asked me to hit up battle rappers to battle on Vlad TV for free. So I told him, I'm like, yo, Vlad, you don't know, but people are making like bands right now. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes is making like good money on battle rap, at least. There's a whole bunch of drama going on with that right now. But for the single battle, people were getting paid. And I tried to ask some people, yo, would you want to battle? And they were like, for free? Nah, bro, you got to pay me $5, $10, whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like, I'm going to try to get it the media route. I'm trying to get some interviews. I contacted DNA, I think it was on Twitter. DNA swooped to him. He hollered back real quick. Did an interview with him. I remember when he came over to the office, he was across the street. This is my first time seeing a battle rapper in person. And I was having, like, inside of my mind, I was like, yo, it's D today. Like, I was having a fan moment. But then, like, I was just like, poker face. I was like, it was good. It was pretty funny. But from there, I just networked with everyone. I linked up with Cortez, with Matt Hoffa, with Swave Seva. I met Smack, Beasley, Lords, Chico. I met everybody, yo. Literally, I've interviewed so many people in battle rap. But what it was with battles was I started going to the events and getting all this content, all these interviews and stuff like that. And I wasn't getting paid to go to the events. Now, if anyone knows Vlad TV interviews, he breaks them up into like 50 parts. So per clip, he's making X amount of money per clip. So if you have this, just an example, let's say you make $200 on this one clip and it's 20 parts. You know what I'm saying? 200, you know what I'm saying? Times 20, you're making bread, bro. So I was like, yo, time out. Like I need to start getting compensated. Like, it's a passion of mine. I've been a fan, but I need to get some money. So I hit him up, yo, could I get, yeah, cool. He started paying me, as I said, for an hour, but then he realized that battle rap events are long. So he's like, no, we're only doing 3 hours. All right, cool. From there, I was doing interviews, and again, I was doing interviews initially off of the strength of just, it's battle rap. It's dudes that I've been a fan of for mad long. Like, I'll do this for free. But after I did a bunch of interviews, I probably did like 10 interviews for free, and then I was like, yo, Brad, like, it's part of the job. Could I, throw me some chips, bro? Like, what's up? So then one of the ways that I started increasing my pay was through battle rap. I would get paid, or not just battle rap, just interviews. I became the main interview guy at Vlad TV. Aside from Vlad, if he was ever in town, he was often not around, so he would either do over the phone interviews or I would just be the one to do it. There were a few other people in the office, but I was one of the main people. But he paid me to do interviews. Over time, I negotiated to get higher pay on my interviews. Like I said, I was producing content. When I left Vlad, right before I left, I was the highest viewed blogger, writer, journalist, whatever you want to call it, in the company. Like, literally, I don't know how many people we had. We had maybe like 7, 8 writers at the time, and we had like a bunch of media cameramen and video editors and stuff like that. But out of all the writers, my name, not trying to gas myself, was always like #1. We had stats. Like, once we turned full-time employees, he wanted to track everyone's numbers and stuff like that. He got real, micromanaging. So even more than he was. So yeah, my name was always at the top, and the person closest to me was like 5 to 10 million views below me. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to numbers, and numbers translate to views, and views in this world translate to money. Clickbait, it translates to money. So I made that man in all honesty, the most money out of any other writer in the company. So by the time I left, I was getting paid decent. I still hadn't hit 60K. I had a little over 52 in my third year. But you know, for working at Vlad TV for 3 years in, I still wasn't getting paid that much. Being able to break 52,000 in a year by year 3 at Vlad TV felt like a huge accomplishment for me. It was the most money I'd ever made in my life up until that point. And even though I saw a huge increase in pay from year 1 to year 3, that is just because it took me those 3 years to, like I said, figure out the blogging system, the hip hop blogging system, the drama, negative news type of blogging system that site just thrived off of, and to this day thrives off of, in order to get those type of numbers. I would not have gotten those numbers if I didn't hustle as hard as I did. And think about it. If you were to break down $200 base pay per week, my first year there, I wasn't even making minimum wage. I was making straight up slave pay. So by the time I got to my third year and I hit a little bit above 52, for me, coming from such a low scale and a low expectation of money, I felt like I was rich. But no, I was still drastically underpaid. It sounds like over the 3 years that you were there, you were steadily increasing your resume, increasing your pay. And I guess you would be, in turn, increasing your relationship with Vlad. But where did it go wrong and why did you end up leaving? Pretty much, good question. Pretty much, I mean, Vlad is Vlad, bro. Vlad is Vlad. That's like the long and the short of that. The long, but I'm gonna keep it as short as possible, part to the story of how I left Vlad TV. I know everyone in battle rap back in the day was asking, why'd you leave? Why'd you leave? Why'd you leave? And I just always just held it down. I was fighting in the Golden Gloves at the time. I won my very first fight a few weeks before in BB King, so I had to fight another time a couple weeks later in upstate New York in Newburgh. I got the notice for the fight. I had to fight on Saturday. I got the notice on Thursday. They used to give you really short notice in these tournaments. So Thursday I get a call, Mike, you're fighting. All right, cool, no doubt, thanks. I'm blogging, doing my thing. So I got a call from his wife a little later in the day, and she told me that, Mike, the weekend writer, now granted, because of the whole full-time employment thing, he couldn't have us work 7 days per week anymore, so he actually hired weekend writers. And the weekend writer, I don't remember her name, but she had something going on, I think a family issue. She couldn't, work. So his wife called me. She was HR. She hit me up. Yo, Mike, we need you to do this OT shift on this weekend. I said, oh, blessing, but I just got called for a fight, so I can't do this one. I just worked OT, mind you, and I told her as well, but mind you, I just worked a weekend shift the weekend before, Saturday and or Sunday. One of both days I was working from home, writing, doing extra stuff. But I was like, I can't do this one, just contact one of the other writers. There's like I said, 5 or 6 other people, maybe even 7 for all I remember. So you have options. She's like, all right, cool, no problem. I think that's over. I go to the gym. I was training in Jump Gym in the Bronx at the time. I'm leaving with my trainer and my team, walking to the train. Out of nowhere, I just get a text from Vlad, call me. And for anyone who used to work there, and maybe even it still is the same today, I don't know. But if you get a text, or if you got a text from Vlad that said, call me, you knew it was smoke. It was problems. It was a lot of static that was about to come your way. So I'm just thinking what could he be mad about? You know what I'm saying? I make this man mad money. What's the problem? So whatever. I call him up. What's up, Vlad? What's going on? I'm thinking, I'm trying to, keep it cool. And he's like, Mike, so my wife told me that you said that you can't do OT shift. And I'm like, yeah, I got a fight coming up on Saturday. I got a last minute call, and otherwise I'll work it, but I can't this time. And I told him also, I said, but I did work a weekend shift last weekend. He said, all right, well, you were late this morning. Again, going into him super thirsty, micromanaging, making sure that everyone worked a solid 40 hours. You were late this morning, and I just told you last week not to come in late anymore, that I want you to make sure that you're doing the 40 hours straight, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, so here's what we're going to do. You're not going to go to your fight. He just straight up, he was telling me, you're not going to go to your fight, and you're going to work this OT shift. And I literally was just looking at my phone I said, Vlad, So look, bro, I've been working for you for 3 years now. Respect. I've made you a lot of money. I've boosted your brand in the battle rap community all across the board so much. I have to go to this fight. This is the Golden Gloves. I just won my last fight. I have to go to this fight. So what I can do for you, I said I can work in the morning. I could write a few articles, queue it up so that articles get covered up until a certain point in the evening. I can go to my fight, come home, and then I can just, queue up the articles so that they can get posted live up until the next morning when the other writer will come on board. He's like, nah, you're not understanding me, Mike. Either you're going to work this weekend shift or you're terminating yourself. That's verbatim. You're either going to work this shift or you're terminating yourself. And I was just like, and I was starting to get wild tight on the low because he didn't know that I hated working for him. As most people, mostly everyone did there. If they didn't say it outright to him, then we talked about it in the office. Everyone hated it there. And I secretly was planning on saving up money for like another year and then just like Sonny, the supervisor he was around when Vlad TV had a green screen. Sonny started working there when he was mad young, was getting paid pennies to start, and then he built his way up. But Sonny was the machine behind the brand. So, Sonny, if you think of the term day one and you were to look up that term in like the hip hop dictionary and you see the definition of day one, you would see an image of Sonny's face next to Vlad TV. Like Sonny was the absolute day one employee for Vlad TV. It was literally like Vlad and Sonny back in the day, and that was it. He was a supervisor, fantastic guy, fantastic supervisor, super efficient worker, very responsible individual. I learned a lot working beside him. I literally worked beside him. Like his desk was here, my desk was here. I would be writing, he would be, you know what I'm saying, we're bouncing ideas off each other. Great time working with Sonny. Sonny was the backbone of Vlad to Vlad TV. Vlad sometimes for the battle rap event. Vlad didn't have the money in the office to pay the battlers, so he would hit Sonny, yo, Sonny, take out $500 from your bank account, pay the battlers, and I'll pay you back. Or like that. He would do stuff like that. Like if he needed some type of a financial thing to pay someone something, this, he would just hit Sonny, yo, Sonny, take this out of your own account and I'll pay you back. And I remember I would hear some of the numbers, like I said, like $200, $300, $400, like take this out of your account. And like, what if in those moments when you talk about take this out your account and I'll pay you back, I ain't even got the bread. Like that was a wild thing when I see that. Like, Vlad just asking him to take out mad, and it could be, let's say, like day 2 on like a pay period, so you got to wait an extra 12. And sometimes we even get paid every 14 days. Sometimes we can get paid 16, 17, 18, like a couple days later. But so let's say it's day 2 or 3 of the pay period, and you got to wait an extra 12, 13, whatever days until you get paid an extra $300, $400, $500. Like, I don't know what Sonny was making back then, but like knowing that I was struggling, I can't imagine Sonny was making crazy guap. So when you ask a man to take out from his personal finances, and the thing is this, the swindle would also be you asking Sonny to take out $500 to pay this battle rapper, and you're gonna pay him that on his next check. But then when he has to file his taxes, he's got extra $500, $300, $200, $400, $600 that you're paying him back as a part of his pay that he has to pay into the IRS and taxes. There's a whole bunch of swindles you would do. But before I digress any further, Sonny, supervisor of Vlad since day 1. Sonny worked there, and he took a lot from Vlad. I would see him they had the little phone booths. We worked in a WeWork building. He was sitting in these little phone booths, and I would just see him just there with the stressed face, just getting chewed out by Vlad, barking at him. Sonny, when talking about the finding system for Vlad TV, Sonny used to take crazy fines. Salute to you, bro. He used to take crazy fines for me and fines for everyone at the office. He used to tell, we sat right next to each other. He would talk to me like, yeah, I just, bro, like, don't do this next time or don't do that because Vlad's trying to hit you with the fine, but I'm going to take it for you. Like, he would let me know what was up. As many fines as I got, Sonny took a lot for me. Like, he literally was taking bullets from me. Sonny basically, long story short, man, he got, I'm all making it mad long, apologies. Sonny he got fed up. He got fed up. He was the supervisor of Vlad, being undervalued, underappreciated, not respected, you know what I'm saying, mistreated for years. And one day, Sonny just didn't show up. Like, everyone's in the office. And where's Sonny at? I don't know. I don't know. He just didn't show up. Long story short. And hours are going by. We're just like working and stuff. Christina, she's there, you know, holding down the fort, but we're all just kind of like, yo, where's Sonny? Where's Sonny? Long story short, he doesn't show up. I don't remember how we found out. I think maybe like I hit up Sonny personally, or some other people in the office did, and he just let us know, like, yo, I quit. That's it. I'm done. But that's how Sonny walked away. He'd been so fed up from working for Vlad, he woke up one morning and he said, you know what? I'm changing my life. He didn't show up, never came back to the office. And he told me, like, I had private conversations with me. He was telling me, like, Mike, that place is toxic. You got to leave. You guys got to get up out of there. There's so much better opportunities in life.
You see how it go down? Live TV had his people skirmishing for cash and all that. He does sound like a disgruntled employee, but at the same time, I'm not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So if we could swindle those employees, damn sure we try to swindle the black community. Try to give them that just boy Mac Nizzle. I already know my slogan. Keep it real with the feel. Forget how they feel. Wow. Y'all realize what a culture vulture is? It's a pig that don't fly straight. Most of white boy don't fly straight. Nah, but you know, shout out to the white boys that keep it real. The ones that's really doing it, putting the minus. I got something for y'all in due time. It goes around. You dig it?